Find us at usedcarwash.com.
Welcome back to Nissan Head to Head. Today, we've got Nissan Kicks coming in strong as a leader in fuel efficiency for gas-only CUVs. Some of the other guys respond with a wallet-breaking detour to the pumps. Hats off to Nissan's fuel-efficient Japanese engineering. Right now, finance a Nissan Kicks for 0% for 36 months. Visit Nissan.ca for details. Conditions apply.
If you're passionate about golf, you're in for a golfer's dream at the Quarry Challenge.
There's a chance for some
Every golfer should experience.
You're right. Slavkovsky.
Start swinging at the Quarry. Don't forget the Granite Grill Restaurant, an unforgettable top-tier venue to host all your events. For rental details or to book your tee time.
Left open.
Edmonton's most
from outside.
venue. Call 477-THE-Q and visit thequarryedmonton.com.
Millions and millions of Canadians do not have a doctor. We have a crisis. Canada's Medical Clinic is opening clinics.
Here comes Kevin. Here's the throw.
We've got some great news. You can call now and book an appointment with your new doctor. Canada'sMedicalClinic.com. And more good news. Canada's Medical Clinic Windermere is also now a walk-in clinic. We'll see you there.
Camping on a long weekend without a Toyota Tacoma can feel crowded. But when you get a Tacoma during Red Tag Days, you can take advantage of its powerful I-Force engine and rugged capability to find a better site. Take advantage of Red Tag Days on now. Lease a 2026 Tacoma 4x4 double cab SR5 from $110 weekly for 60 months at 5.49% APR with $6,899 down. Hybrid available. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
The Jason Gregor Show.
There's a chance for Slavkovsky. You're right. Slavkovsky.
On Sports 1440.
Hart left open. Hart puts it in. Got Hart on fire from outside.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Mason. They're away Marino. There comes Gabby. Here's the throw. And the Diamondbacks win it.
What a fantastic Friday. Happy Positive Friday. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks as always for watching, listening, the show, Twitch as well. We appreciate it. There's lots to discuss on the program today. Of course, the Elks are back in action tomorrow on the road in BC, taking on the Lions. That'll be their first of two preseason games, and they got a home game next weekend. And then the season opener, they'll be on the road, taking on the Ottawa Red Blacks on June 6th. The home opener for the Elks comes up on the 20th. The Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website. Tonight, Lotto Max, $10 million. You get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca, and while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boosts and little. How about some Jays action? Could they win today? Maybe Guerrero get a few hits. Barshow a double. We'll see. See how it goes. Check that out. The Golden Knights, no Makar again, no Stone again. As Colorado, a little bit of pressure now. You start out the series at home. You don't want to go down 0-2 and then have to go on the road. So a big game for them tonight. Also, if you're a sports fan, that OKC Spurs series, unreal. Check that one out tonight. Last night, the Carolina Hurricanes. How about them and the Canadians? Only the third playoff game in NHL history that saw both teams score a goal in the first minute. The first time happened in 1993, Game 2. It was the Kings and the Vancouver Canucks. Then last night, you had Montreal and Carolina. The only other time it happened, Oiler fans, you probably remember it. Game 6 against Vegas in 2023. Remember that one? Ekholm had a little bit of a kind of gave the puck away. Marchessault scored early on, then the Oilers scored 30 seconds later. So that was a wild start. It's only the third time that both teams score in the first minute. Montreal scores 4 times in the first period. First time that they have scored 4 goals in the first period of a playoff game in the third round or later since 1958. So something you saw last night. Low Tide was the only one around maybe to see it the last time. Good for LT. You've seen a lot. And the Canadians, you got goals from Caulfield. You got goals from Demidov. You got goals from Slavkovsky. And I know that we can say, hey, Carolina had maybe some rust. I think they did look a little bit rusty. But a great stat, and I want to confirm it because Kevin Woodley had talked about this earlier in his pre-scouting for the series. And he talked about one area of concern for Carolina was the fact that the Hurricanes have allowed the most breakaways in the NHL this year. 146, 22 more than the next team, double more than Dallas, who had the fewest at 69. That's been every team. Hey, good teams, they finish first in the East. Every team has a weakness. And Montreal exploited it last night. So was it rust? Maybe. Or maybe it was just the fact that this is what Carolina's done all year long. They're susceptible to getting beat on long passes. Breakaways, right? You saw Demidov come in all alone. Now, Slavkovsky ends up being a breakaway, but that's a sick move. Now, he walked around Svechnikov. He's not a defenseman. I don't care. It's a sick move. But, but look at how that play started. Quick transition up the ice. Right? The stretch pass out to Caulfield on Carolina's side of center. Right? Even when Carolina scored their second goal, if you go back and remember it, Montreal had a partial break. Caulfield coming down the right side 2.5 minutes into the second period. So that's something to watch for. The Canadians, they got skill. And if you got the courage to want to pass it up the middle of the ice, because obviously you can get it intercepted, but if you can complete it, Carolina is susceptible to giving up breakaways. And we saw it last night. Rust was a factor in one element, but I think give Montreal credit. They game planned very well. They knew a weakness. They exploited it. And you got to give them credit because that's what they did. Right? Every team even has a weakness. And last night, they exposed that weakness. And now we'll see what Carolina does. Now, they weren't good. Jacob Slavin, that was one of his worst defensive games of his career. He's going to have to be better. I would expect him to be better. He's been one of the best defensive defensemen for a long time. But last night, Montreal was the better team. They were full marks for the victory. And Carolina scored first. Right? They got the start they wanted 33 seconds in. Their top line, they needed to get going. They scored. Jarvis, Aho, and Svechnikov all combined on the goal. But not much else happened after that for Carolina. So, big win for the Habs. Huge win. And now Vegas has a glorious opportunity tonight to go up 2-0. Cale Makar, now he skated again this morning. But I saw a video that some Denver reporters were shooting about him on the bench, having discussions. And yeah, obviously they're guessing. But just you saw him motion and looking and, he's moving his shoulders. It's obviously clear that it's still a shoulder issue for him. And does he have a slight separation? Maybe. Dislocation, who knows? But he's obviously still got the shoulder issue, and it's limiting him. And I have mentioned this over the years. I think it was a factor, not a guarantee, but it was a factor when Edmonton was in the playoffs. If some of your best guys are nicked up or not playing, it's harder to win. Just is, because you can get by it in the regular season. You don't play elite teams 8 games in a row, right? 7 games in a row. You just don't. So Gregor, did you say Carolina's allowed the most breakaways? Interesting, because all the experts talk about how they're sound defensively they are. Well, you can be sound defensively in lots of areas and still give up breakaways, right? Because you're looking at the overall amount of chances. They don't give up a ton of low chances as far as, below the crease line, inner slot shots, none of those. But breakaways, that's their weakness. That's their nemesis. And I give Montreal a lot of credit. You have a game plan, and they exposed it. So now the other one is maybe it was rest, or maybe it's just simply that the Carolina Hurricanes, when they get to the conference final, they got the yips, right? Because they're not good once you get to the third round. They're good at getting to the third round. So last year they lost 4-1 to the Panthers. They got swept by the Panthers in 23. They lost to the Lightning. Well, that was in the second round. But so if we're going just in the third round, so that makes them 1-9 in their last 10. And now we go to, they lost in the conference final to the Bruins in 2019. 1-14. God, that is, and then they lost in the conference final in 2009, 4 straight. Oh, jeez. That is, so think about swept, 2 in a row, 3 in a row, 0-12. And then they went, so they were 1-12. Now they're 1-17 since beating the Sabres in 7 games. In 2006 in the conference final. Oh, that's an ugly run. Now, I know that the team 2009, there's no one around from that team. Right? I'm not sure how many guys are even around from the 2019. A few of them, Slavin, a few others, sure. But it is a concern. No question, it's a concern for the Hurricanes. Was it a one-off? Was it a 12-day break? Was it the fact that Montreal exploited them? Or are they just not that good? Is the Metro not that good? And then you get against the Atlantic. It doesn't matter who it is. Whether it's the Panthers, whether it's Tampa, whether it's Boston, doesn't matter. Now maybe it's going to be Montreal. So that's what they're going to have to fight against. Like, is it a mental block? That happens for some teams. Now, it's only one game. But I would say this about the Carolina Hurricanes. It's early in the conference final. They got to win game 2. And you're Montreal. Demidov is rolling now. He had a quiet first 10, 11 games of the playoffs. He woke up late in Buffalo, and, man, that breakaway goal, sick move. Both Caulfield and the big man whose name's escaping me right now scored last night, Slavkovsky, and 5-on-5, because they've scored before in the power play, but you get 5-on-5 scoring from that top line, that adds a real level of concern if I'm Carolina. Now, they play terrible. We can admit that. Maybe it's one game. Maybe they come back. Edmonton, if you recall, last year lost game 1 against Dallas, then won 4 in a row. So the series is far from over. But this is being a pattern that they're going to have to break. They being the Carolina Hurricanes. Coming up also today, Cody Fajardo will join us in hour number 1. The Elks on the road. Most of their starters are going to get some time tomorrow night against the BC Lions. And you can watch that game on CFL Plus. Just register and get it, and away you go. And they have told us, because if any of you tried to watch it last year, it was a little bit of a cluster, you know what? And the stream has gone down. The CFL, the commissioner said they've improved it. They better, because come on, you can't run a professional league and not have adequate streaming for your fans. You just can't. So hopefully they get that done tomorrow. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, you know how we always say goalies are voodoo? Well, what if the Oilers went after Hart? Would we be being receptive to this? Freddie could never win in the playoffs. Look at him now. And who the hell is Dobish? Why can't we get a flash in the pan goalie ever? Well, the Oilers went to the Stanley Cup final twice, Jamie, in Beaumont. Many of you said Stuart Skinner's terrible. He still got you to the Stanley Cup final. Calvin Pickard won 6 games in a row. You kind of had a goalie do that. It just didn't get him all the way to the final. None of these teams you're talking about, they haven't won yet. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The goalies can be unpredictable, but I'll say this. If you're giving out, like, look at the goals that Montreal scored last night. How many of those would I look and say, man, Freddie Anderson wasn't good? Now, he didn't make a huge save, valid, but I didn't think that Freddie Anderson, like, go through the goals, right? Cole Caulfield comes out of the corner. Really good chance coming right through the slot. Then you got Phil Deneau, breakaway. Alexander Texier, one-timer from the left side to the right side, his high slot, shoots it, beats the goalie glove side. Demidov on a breakaway. Then Slavkovsky, unreal move to deke around the goalie. 5 goals and 21 shots. I didn't think any of them were bad goals. And Anderson had only allowed 10 goals in the first 8 games, and he had made some pretty big saves. So it's one game. And goalies, for the most part, are, well, I wouldn't say goalies are voodoo. I just say, I think it's a hard position, especially in today's NHL. There's way more cross-ice passes, cross-seam passes. Teams don't waste shots. Like, when was the last time you saw teams come? Remember, God, it used to infuriate me. You'd have a winger come down the right boards or the left boards, shoots from, like, almost outside the circle. Terrible angle, and just fires it on net. I'm like, it's a nothing shot. And teams have realized that's a waste. Just gives the goal, feeling the puck again. Ooh, feeling good. Easy stop. You don't see teams do that. Now they'll come down the wing. They might button hook. They'll take it behind the net, right? They'll try lots of different things before they just fire one from distance on net. Of course, it happens sometimes, but not nearly as much as it used to. Not at all. So, but, hey, Dobish has come out. He's 24 years of age. He turns 25 later this month. Lots of goalies hit 25, 26, and all of a sudden, I don't know if the game slows down or if it's just the fact that they need a little bit more seasoning, because the development of a forward and defenseman, you're playing every game, right? You're playing every game. And even if you're only playing 12 minutes for it, you're playing every game. Goalies, they don't play every game. Even, like, think about it. Now, sometimes in junior, you'll have one guy play 50 games and the other guy plays 20, sure. But he's not getting all the reps. Whereas your defensemen are playing 25 minutes a night. They're in the offensive zone. They're in the neutral zone. They're in the defensive zone. So I do wonder sometimes if that kind of plays into a little bit of, on average, later development curve for goaltenders. They just need more time because they're not in as many games. It's just how it is. So, but I don't think you can say Edmonton never had him. Like, who would have thought Calvin Pickard's going to win 6 games in a row in the playoffs? Or was it, might even be 7 in a row. So I don't know if you can say Edmonton's never had that, right? Many people thought Stu Skinner was garbage. He went to 2 Stanley Cup finals. I'd say it's pretty good. Guy making $2.6 million wasn't paid to be that guy. We'll see. I'm kind of curious what happens with him in free agency, to be honest, this summer. And see where it goes. And Greg's good point about Stu. I loved him. I'm stressing already for next year. Well, we'll see about next year, right? Tristan Jarry's got to have a good summer, got to get healthy, and he's got to have a good summer. Physically, mentally, everything. I think they want him to probably practice a little bit harder. We'll see how it goes. Is it going to be Connor Ingram? They're going to bring in someone else. I know there's a lot of people that are high on Connor Unger. Hey, mate, I can't say for certain that Connor Unger can't be the guy. I don't know. But he doesn't, like, he's played 14 AHL games. Right now, he will turn 25 next January. So he's entering the age where a lot of goalies kind of pop. So maybe that's the guy. But, like, he's got 13 AHL games. I know a lot of people say, well, what about Binnington? Yeah, Binnington played like 5 years in the AHL. This guy's got 13 AHL games. Dobish played 16 NHL games last season and had, stints of what? I guess year and a half of AHL experience. Not much, 65, but still more than 13. But I can't rule out Unger. the way, like everywhere he played last year, he had success. So who knows? Maybe he could be the guy, but he might be number 3. And then due to an injury or something else, he moves up. I don't think the Edmonton owners in year 1 of Connor McDavid's 2-year contract are going to go in to say, hey, Connor Unger's our starter. Like, I don't think that's a well thought out plan, but to have him, given an opportunity. And the other thing is, remember, there's only 4 preseason games now. Now your vets can only play 2. So I would think the goalies, they might split 1 and then, your other guy gets your AHL goalies probably aren't going to get a ton of action because you want your goalie to probably goalies get at least 1, if not 2 full starts in the preseason. So it is going to be more of a challenge, I would think, moving forward. Those guys are probably going to have to wait for an injury or something or guys to really struggle to get in. So, and hey, it's not who starts either. Maybe Unger goes in the minors, plays well. Dolbish wasn't starting in Montreal this year. It was Montembeau's job. Remember? Guy was on the Olympic team. Now he's the number 3, and they're looking to get rid of him. It can change quickly, for sure. Coming up, we'll talk a little playoffs for you. We also got Sean Campbell, Craig Button, Mark Spector, LT Jones. Cons, what would you do for fun today on a May 22nd? Jarry, we know, is under contract. I think it's hard to move him. So let's just assume it's Tristan Jarry. Who's your other goalie?
Connor Ingram.
Okay.
I think that would be the way I would go. Familiarity, full offseason with the Oilers, I think could be a benefit. There's upside, and I'm hoping the price won't be too much. I'd love to look elsewhere and upgrade immediately, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So I go Connor Ingram.
All right. Quick break. We will come back. Danny Webster joins us. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
A lot of you love hockey season. Well, when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for 2. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all 7s. Go Auto, get in the game.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
This is you.
Hi.
And your cornhole team needs money.
Yeah, we do need money.
Plus, you've tried every fundraiser under the sun.
No kidding, and no one's buying my Cuban salted chocolate.
Scrap the chocolate and fundraise for your team, club, or charity at On the Rocks. Here's the deal. We'll create custom tickets for your event, which includes no cover, no line, and beverage before 10 p.m. Then you sell your tickets and keep all the profits.
That sounds easy.
It is. Fundraisers at On the Rocks. Book, party, cash. OnTheRocksYEG.com.
New at Papa John's. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. Delivery or carry out. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
To the guy who said, I'll marinate the chicken, then forgot? Hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. We've got you covered with a variety of freshly prepared kebabs, ranging from chicken to beef and pork. They even come pre-marinated, so all that's left is pretending you made it yourself. And they're on sale this week. For more great summer deals, check our flyer at safeway.ca. Variety may vary by store. See flyer for details.
That's the way.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Positive Friday. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Alongside Declan Kruger is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Of course, the World Championships of ice hockey continue on today as Canada gets a 3-1 victory over Slovakia as they continue to sit first in their pool. Tate, Cousins, and Finney were the goal scorers today for Canada. Coming up later on tonight, we have Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Vegas Golden Knights on the road in Colorado to take on the Avalanche. No Makar for the Avs. No Stone again for the Golden Knights. And, man, I know it's early. It's only Game 2, but this is a huge game for Colorado. Meanwhile, if you're Vegas, God, you win tonight. And now you'd force Colorado to have to beat you 4 out of 5 games, with 3 of those games being in Vegas. This is a huge game for both teams. Huge opportunity as we go in the room. Brought to you by Action Electrical. And for those of you who got a commercial property and you've been thinking about it, getting solar on it, well, don't wait. Right now, you can get great tax rebates and grants and everything. I'll only save you money installing it, but save you money in the long run. Action Electrical can help you get all of that. ActionElectrical.net. As Danny Webster joins us from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, beat reporter for the Golden Knights. And Danny, the Golden Knights, hey, I guess I want to start with the Brett Howden, Pavel Dorofeev show, because those two guys are killing it offensively right now for the Golden Knights in goal scoring.
Yeah, they are. They're both having tremendous postseasons. We look at what Brett Howden has done, really since the first round. It's been truly a fun surprise watching him perform the way that he has. And Pavel Dorofeev, going from being benched in the first round against Utah, and now suddenly with 10 goals, and I think it's goals in 4 straight now, showing why he's a valuable part of this team, and he continues to get better and better as each game goes on, which has been probably a refreshing change of pace for the Golden Knights going into the postseason here.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Dorofeev, this guy scores a ton of goals, and you look at him, and he, to me, I think he's an underrated shooter. He doesn't score, obviously he does, but he doesn't score a ton of just 3 feet around the net. This guy's a shooter. I look at that goal he scored. It was a great pass by Marner, but he read the fact that that Wedgwood had leaned too far to the middle and gave him the short side and just beat him clean on the short side. Lots of his goals come from distance. He can beat goalies from distance.
Yeah, he's got such a great shot. He's so precise. He knows where to pick his spots. He's even shown in the playoffs that it doesn't matter where he's at on the ice. He likes to stay on his strong side on the right dot, but he's even had a couple of goals this year where he's found himself on the weak side, and he's still gotten off a really good shot from a ridiculously tight angle. He's a guy that, the Golden Knights don't have a lot of prolific goal scorers like snipers, right? And then they've only had maybe a couple in their franchise's history. He's the one homegrown guy that's developed a shot like this, and it's been a weapon, whether it's been on the power play, like you mentioned, or whether it's been at 5-on-5. He has been getting better at every area of his game. And like I said, it's been a breath of fresh air for the Golden Knights with the way that he's been able to get that shot off and find a way to score goals this time of year.
So you look ahead to game 2, and Colorado had some chances. Carter Hart was clearly the better of the 2 goalies in the game. Is it going to be Wedgwood again? I haven't seen who's starting.
I think it is Wedgwood. Last I saw,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wedgwood starts. You look at Carter Hart in that game. They needed it. What did he stop? I think 36 out of 38 shots for Vegas. So I'm sure Vegas, they won. There's areas of their game that they feel, okay, we got to be a little bit better at. Where do you feel they need to improve to lower the shots against?
Well, I think they did a pretty good job clogging up the middle in game 1. I don't think that they had 23 blocked shots, so they were definitely doing a pretty good job getting in front. I think they did a really good job taking away the slot. I think the biggest thing for them going into tonight is trying to slow down Colorado's transition, which, as we all know, is easier said than done when you got 29 in blue and maroon coming at you at full speed. That's probably going to be the biggest thing. I think, obviously, not having Makar, you kind of lose an option when it comes to that. But they're very weary of Colorado and how well they can get out in transition. And like you mentioned with Carter Hart, he was their best player, I think, in game 1. He made a lot of big 10-bell saves that kept the Golden Knights from even losing any of the momentum that they gathered. And they're going to probably need more of that from Carter Hart as the series goes on. But if they can continue to find a way to slow transition, limit the dangerous chances, keep them out of the slot, they're going to have to continue to put their bodies on the line and block shots the way that they did in game 1. That's a good sign for them. But yeah, I think the biggest area of focus is cutting the transition, getting the middle of the ice away from Colorado and allowing the Golden Knights to put themselves in the right positions to help out Carter Hart while at the same time being in the shooting lanes to prevent Colorado from getting those dangerous chances.
Any lineup changes for Vegas?
Looks like Caden Korzak's going in for Ben Hutton. That's going to be very interesting to see how that lines up because from base what on that looked like, Korzak is going to go on his weak side. So that's going to be very interesting. But it looks like that's staying the same. Up front, no, it looks like the lines are going to stay the same from the way they were in game 1.
Okay. You look at Colorado. Now, Cale Makar, and I know that Mark Stone's a loss for Vegas, but he's not Cale Makar. Mm-hmm. And I look at the Avalanche. They're still a very fast team. I think that's the one advantage they have over Vegas. Clear advantage is they're a quicker team. And at times we saw that in game 1. What do you expect maybe Colorado to do different tonight, try to attack and penetrate Vegas in a way that they did in game 1?
That's the thing. I mean, you look at game 1, there really wasn't a whole lot that I think Colorado could have done differently. I think they could have probably tried to attack the net a little bit more. But you look at, they had 80 shot attempts in game 1. So it wasn't like they were shy on their chances. I thought they had a lot of good looks. They were killing it in high danger chances. They were killing it in scoring chances. So they were there. I think it's just a matter of trying to get more eyes in front of Carter Hart. I think that's key there. You look at the saves that he made, and some of those saves were spectacular. Like the one on Kadri at the end of the first period was absolutely huge. But you look at it from the kind of chances that they did generate, there were definitely a couple of looks where they felt like they could have scored. I mean, O'Connor hit a post in the second period, I think. He had one where he was robbed, I think, cutting inside. So they definitely got their chances. And I think if you're Colorado, I'm not, in their locker room a lot. I'm not, in their press availabilities a lot, but you get the sense that if Colorado does a little bit more of the same than what they did in game one, that those goals are going to come. And I think that they're probably feeling a little bit better knowing that if they come out with a more aggressive game plan, that they're going to find the back of the net early and often. But the Golden Knights, that they're able to, like I said, they're able to put bodies in front and block those shots and, maybe put a little bit more traffic on Scott Wedgwood, then they're going to be in a good position because, like you said, Cale Makar, he brings so many elements. We know that. We know what kind of player he is. So you lose that element, but you're going to need somebody else on the back end to kind of step up and, fill those shoes, and that's easier said than done.
What do you make of Vegas and the Cassidy situation, Danny? Do you think when the playoffs are over, they'll grant him permission to speak to LA, Toronto, or Edmonton if they have a vacancy still left, or are they just going to wait out until next year? What do you think happens?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to at some point. Bruce Cassidy, he wants to coach. He's not someone that wants to stay on the sidelines. Obviously he would have the luxury of, still getting paid while not coaching next year. It is a really weird situation, and, far be it for me to know what happens, but usually it would be like, okay, can we have permission to speak to Bruce? And usually would take a text message or something that said, yeah, go ahead. You have all the permission. It's definitely an interesting situation. One that, I don't know if Bruce is, fully on board with it. He's said on record that he understands. I think, when this is all said and done, they're going to let him talk to whoever has an opening. Maybe they're waiting until the offseason when maybe more openings might show up. We never know. But I mean, those are a few high profile ones, even there in Edmonton right now, that is waiting on a simple yes or no. And whether Bruce wants the job or not is, another question in its entirety. But yeah, it's a very interesting situation. One that, I don't think, look from the outside looking in, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But it is what it is. It's how the contracts are handled. And from our perspective, we have to take Kelly McCrimmon's word for it that Bruce understands it. The teams have understood it. Now it's just a matter of, I guess, waiting it out.
Yeah, we'll see. They've obviously been very patient on this one. And I'll say it, Vegas, no one's better playing the villain in the NHL right now than the Vegas Golden. I know that legally it's within the rights. They're not doing anything illegal right now. It's not something that's usual, but Vegas always kind of beats to their own drum. And it's led to them having some success. They clearly don't mind being the villain in the National Hockey League. And now they're 3 wins away from getting to a Stanley Cup. And a huge game 2 tonight. Should be fun. As always, Danny, appreciate your time. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate it, Jason.
There you go. That's Danny Webster joining us from Vegas. And it was like their comment that, well, we're focused on the playoffs. So when they lose the playoffs, does that mean that they'll be granted permission? Who knows? They're not paying them right now. So there's really, like, it's a lot easier when there's no checks. You're like, yeah, I know we have to pay them in the future, but they might just make it wait. So we'll see how it goes. Cody Fajardo is going to join us next on the show. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. They are they're on their way to Victoria to take on the Lions in a preseason game tomorrow. You can watch it on CFL Plus. If you're so intrigued, I know the deck man will be watching it, as will I, and he'll have all sorts of coverage at Elks Nation on the weekend over that as well. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at SilentIceCenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The sun's out, the pavement's warm, and that low rumble of a Harley rolling by? Oh yeah, that's calling your name. This is riding season, and if you've been thinking about a new ride, Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has the one that'll get your heart pumping. With a huge selection of new and pre-owned bikes, there's one waiting for you. Whether you're upgrading or just getting started. And while you're there, ask about test rides, because the only way to know is to ride it. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980, or at hdedmonton.com.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say,
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Your next great family adventure is just a raffle ticket away. Enter the Alberta Foster and Kinship Association's Great Family Adventure Raffle for your chance to win incredible prizes, including the first prize, a Sea-Doo pontoon cruise boat worth over $70,000. Every ticket sold helps provide vital resources to the everyday heroes raising children through some of life's hardest circumstances. Buy your tickets before the live draw on June 5th. Get yours at rafflebox.ca/raffle/the Great Family Adventure Raffle. License number 766115. Open to Alberta residents 18 plus only.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Live music this weekend and OTR as Curve hits the stage tonight and tomorrow starting at 10. Before that, live DJ and, of course, stream specials all day. Jasper Ave and 118th are online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Thank you for being along for the ride. Hope we got big plans for the weekend. What is it? Always after the May long weekend. Usually it starts to heat up a little bit. hopefully that is the you know what, to be honest, I've kind of gotten out of looking at the forecast unless it's like the day of, because I found too often I would, oh yeah, next is going to be good, and then by the time it gets there, it's totally changed. So I felt rather than continue to disappoint myself, I'll wake up in the morning, might look that day. I probably look at the temperature now less than ever. Cons, are you a look ahead temperature guy?
No, definitely not. I don't really care. Like now that Benny's around, it matters a little bit more for when we're going out, but I don't. It doesn't change really my point of view. I have friends that like live and die by the weather. If it's cold, they're so grumpy. If it's nice out, they love it. It is what it is. I just got to make sure Ben has a jacket if it's cold. That's it. That's all that matters for me.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. So, looking in Edmonton, saying tomorrow's going to be like 24. All right. 24, 18 with rain on Sunday, 26, 23, 18. Okay. Well, now let's see. Does it actually get to that? But I like 24. I could take that. So it should be a good weekend. All of you golfers, get out there, hammer it around, have some laughs, probably some frustration. Don't break your clubs. It's the last thing you want to do. And like, don't be a club thrower. I think you got frustrated, but it's the greatest advice you'll ever take. You're not good enough to get that mad. And once you accept that, golf's way better. That's what I found. Way better. Hey, Gregor, maybe dumb question. If Cassidy gets a job with another team, is Vegas then not on the hook to pay him? Same thing for Knobloch? Yes. Well, they're not on the hook. So my understanding is $4.5 million is what Cassidy has left on his 1-year deal. So let's say Edmonton signs him to a 3-year deal at $4 million. Then Vegas would still have to pay him $500,000 for the remainder of his contract. Edmonton would pay the other $4 million. And then the final 2 years of his deal, he would get that. Now, I know people said, well, can't you just pay him 1 year at this and have them pay him? You could, but the coach isn't going to agree to sign a 1-year deal at $100,000, even though Vegas is going to pay the rest, because there's no guarantee of the next deal. That's why they'll never do it. So it's, you've seen some teams that maybe hired a coach for a little bit less. My understanding was that had a little bit of the equation for Lindy Ruff in Buffalo when he first came in, but obviously it worked out. So, but there's no, we're going to sign him for a year and Vegas is going to pay all of it, and then you re-sign him after that. Coach isn't going to do that. Why? Because there's no guarantee that what if they have a bad year? They'll just say, oh, well, see you later. You don't have a contract. So they definitely wouldn't be doing that. Now, let's get to the Elks report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Oh, look, hey, 24, 26, starting to get up there. You don't want to be too hot. You're tossing and turning. You're sleeping with a sheet. I'm too hot. Get AC, sleep better. LegacyHeating.ca. And caught up with Cody Fajardo before the Elks jetted off to Victoria. Here's the conversation with the QB.
Obviously, as the quarterback and one of the main leaders of the team, and there's been a lot of talk about needing a good start for this group. It's kind of Coach Kilm's talked about it. How do you, as one of the leaders of offense, ensure that you guys are ready to go here in a few weeks?
Yeah, we got to make sure that we're dialing into the details. I think talent-wise, if you look at us on the roster on paper, we're a very talented bunch. But if we don't put it together detail-wise, football IQ-wise, that's going to help us take a step backwards, and we want to go forward. So I like the last 2 practices we've put in offensively, coming off that scrimmage where I was frustrated and upset. The last 2 practices have been crisp. We've made a lot of plays. Guys kind of took my words and used it as motivation, which I'm really excited about. But we got to start fast, and these preseason games are very beneficial for it. You get a game-like atmosphere, and I talk about all the time. Sometimes you don't know what you have on a practice atmosphere because guys are just gamers. Some guys get out there, they break tackles, they yak it up, they just perform under the lights better, and some guys don't. So you find out what you have, and that's why I'm excited. I'm glad I'm able to play in this game, which is going to be really exciting for me to get out there with a lot of new guys on offense. We have some guys that are going to be staying home, so I'm going to be able to play with some guys that haven't played a lot of football, and that's exciting for me and encouraging for me.
You were pretty frustrated, and obviously you hold yourself to a high standard. You've been through training camp a lot. Is that just kind of the ebbs and flows that like not every camp's going to be smooth from start to finish?
Yeah, defense is always ahead of offense. And I like that because it is hard and it should be hard. And so when we get into season and we start game planning for a defense, instead of just rolling out plays against any coverage or any defense, it makes it a little bit easier when the real bullets are flying. But yeah, I didn't come back to just win a couple games. I came back for one reason. And I told you guys day one, it was to win a Grey Cup. And so when we don't hit our standard, I'm going to be hard. I'm going to be hard on myself. I'm going to be hard on our guys. And they know the standard that I've set for us, and we've talked about it. So I'm just excited to see this kind of come into shape going against another team in preseason, even though we're going to have a lot of moving parts and a lot of guys rolling in, but it'll be exciting to see what the 2026 Edmonton Elks are all about.
The receiving core, lots of guys with experience, but lots of new guys here. Now, you and Mac, of course, had chemistry together in Montreal. How do you build that, and how important is it? I know you're not going to play a lot, but even to get a few reps in that first preseason game, how important is that to build that continuity between you and your receiver?
Yeah, absolutely. It's huge. There's a difference between practice where you're not getting tackled to the ground and it's just can't get hit as a quarterback to like real life bullets where I'm going to get hit. If I hold on the ball too long, I'm going to get hit. If a guy messes up a route, you got to hold on the ball. It's just a snowball effect. So it's big for us. It's big for our timing. It's big for just our cohesiveness, like you were talking about. And I think the teams that have the most camaraderie, the teams that are closer together, they win more football games. And so this team's coming together, and now we got to kind of go through it in a real game-like atmosphere together. And it's not all going to go great. I wish it is, but I've played this game long enough to know that it's going to be ups and downs. And I'm excited to see how this team takes it when we do have a negative play, or we do have some adversity, or we do have a positive play. Do we let that affect us and snowball, or do we play the next play mentality? And that's what I want to get into our receiver's head, into our offense line head, into my head. It's play the next play mentality. We're a talented group. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot.
How do you learn to maximize the strength of each individual receiver as you get to know this guy's good at this route or this guy's good here? How long does it take to learn that? And then how do you have to incorporate that as a quarterback?
Yeah, it's training camp. There's a lot of things. I'll sit down with Jordan and we'll go through training camp and we'll talk about, hey, this guy's a really good outrunner. This guy's a really good post runner. And then we try to formulate a plan where we put those guys in the best situations. I think the best part about football is to find your way to play to your strengths and mask your weaknesses. If we can find a way to play to our strengths, and that's why you put in the time out here where you understand what the strengths and weaknesses of your receiving core is, what your offensive line is, what your running backs is. And then when you get into week one, you can play to your strengths and then mask those weaknesses. And that's what this training camp's for. It's going to be frustrating at times. There's going to be times when balls are on the ground or you don't feel like you're clicking, but we're figuring out what guys can do, what guys can't do. And for me, I'm just taking in all the information that I can so that when week one does come around, we're excited about the opportunity and we know what we have on our roster.
What have you learned about McGriff that stood out for you?
He's one of those guys you send off the bus first. I mean, it's just a good-looking human who's 6'5", 6'6", a guy who's made a lot of plays in camp. And so he's another guy. Talk about, you don't know what you have until a game-like atmosphere. Like, nobody's going to want to tackle that guy when he catches the football. So I'm excited to see him catch the ball, yak it up. But, yeah, he's a good-looking receiver that can catch. Makes it really easy on a quarterback. You can miss a lot of places with him, and he's going to bail you out. So excited to see him go to work on Saturday.
And another guy is Mathis, just because of his height and his size. At times you throw up a 50-50 ball, feeling pretty confident that maybe it's more than that. He got banged up early last year. He's added some weight. He feels like he wants to make more of an impression. Obviously you want to have good route runners, but is it a benefit just to have the advantage of height at times in your receiving core with a few guys where you can say, I can put a ball here where the only guy who's probably going to get it is my receiver?
Without a doubt, most DBs in this league are undersized. And because the bigger guys, they usually play in the NFL. And so there's a lot of talented DBs in this league. Most of them are a little bit undersized. So when you have big receivers, it is a matchup advantage for us. So a guy like Mathis, I thought his Saskatchewan game was going to be his coming out party. Unfortunately, got hurt in that game. I think he had like 3 catches for 50 to start in the first quarter or second quarter. And so I thought that was his coming out party. Unfortunately, he got hurt, never was able to recover from the injury. Came into camp, knows a lot of positions, took that experience that he had last year and let that roll into his confidence. You can tell he's a lot more confident player than he was last year. We spent a lot of time last year when I was running with the 2s. I spent a lot of time with him because he was rolling with the 2s and now rolling with the 1s. So we've spent a lot of time together. We have a really good relationship, really good rapport. And he's another guy I'm just excited to see him go out and play and get his opportunity back that was taken away from him, unfortunately, from injury last year.
And for you, Cody, as you mentioned earlier, you've been around the league, you've won before, you know a lot, but you're always looking to improve. What are the things that you're challenging yourself? What are the areas that you want to be better at this year?
I want to get the ball out of my hand. I think I put a lot of pressure on our offensive line last year, holding on the ball a little bit too long. Our sack numbers were high, and that's a lot accounted to me. I can think of 10 sacks off the top of my head that were on me instead of the offensive line. So it's something I worked on, and I feel like having a training camp coming in as the number one is going to just help me with that. Timing, expectation. We talked about with receivers, when you know where a guy's going to be because you've had rep after rep after rep with them. Last year, getting thrown kind of into the fire, you're just almost seeing and then reacting. Now it's kind of like you react once you see that first instinct, and I feel like I'm back into my flow state of when I was a starter for the last 7 years. So that's something I really want to do. I want to help our offensive line. We have a great offensive line. Ed made a lot of great offseason transactions. We got a talented room. We got 7 starters for 5 positions, so a lot of guys that I got a ton of confidence in. But that's something I think I can help this team tremendously is be able to get the ball out of my hands and just trust my instincts faster, so I don't have to hold on the ball and scramble or take a sack.
Go, Cody Fajardo. I really like this last response there about really got to get the ball out of my hands. And I think that was probably one of the most consistent criticisms of his game last year, Cons, was you got to get rid of that ball.
100%. And like this year, in my opinion, with the offensive line improvements, the excuses will be kind of going away. Like the protection should be there. It should hold up. And for me, I think that'd also be an important thing in this preseason. Like we know he's not going to play a ton, but when he's out there, let's dial some things up or let's get it going. Quick throws. He's not going to be bombing at 55 yards plus downfield, but he can pick you apart underneath. So yeah, I would probably have a script here where I'm putting the ball in his hands. That's what I want to see. We know Rankin and the other running backs of my mind right now.
Rankin?
No, well, Javon Leake.
Right.
Apologies. They're not going to be making the trip, right? So I'm thinking, okay, you have other running backs you're going to want to see, but they want to throw the ball, I think. So that's going to be it for me, watching just how quickly he gets out there. And then for the receivers, finding ways to get open, running crisp routes, that sort of thing. Fajardo is the guy, but I still think there is some pressure on him to produce here because they built up a really good roster around him.
Oh, yeah. Right. On paper, I like that's the other thing, though, that I like what he said. He goes, hey, you know what? On paper, we look really good, but you've got some guys who look great in practice and then maybe in the game, not as good, where some other guys look okay in practice. And then you get to the game and they're gamers and they elevate and they're better. So I think there's some validity to that. They don't have I think to me, the receiving core is probably still the area that I'm least comfortable in what to expect. I think they've got talent there, no question. I think McGriff could surprise some people. Robustelli has looked very good. I know it's only camp, but last year he looked pretty good in limited time. He didn't get a ton of opportunity in Saskatchewan, and in the games he did, he played pretty well, but they had a boatload of receivers due to injury, right? Lots of guys were wheeling in and out all year long there. So I don't know how good the receiving core, how consistent, and more importantly, can they hold on to the ball when they need to?
2 drops by Julian Grant cost them games last year, if I recall correctly. I think they still have 14 receivers on the roster right now. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to separate yourself if you're not kind of those top 3 guys. Special teams going to be absolutely massive for some of them to hang around. But yeah, I'm interested to see like Austin Mack, the guy that comes over with a lot of hype. We heard about him, has that connection with Cody Fajardo. You think it would carry over, but again, I always go back to Zach Mathis, just how tempting he is. 6'7", like that. Should never lose a jump ball. If the ball's within his radius, he should be coming down with it every time.
Yeah, in theory. You're right.
In theory. Yeah.
Right? Like in theory, they've got some... McGriff is huge. Now, he's not very big as far as like thickness goes, but man, like he is 6'5" and really long. Like you look at his arms, him and Mathis should give you an opportunity as a quarterback to take a few more risks, especially when you're throwing high balls, because they're going to have a massive height advantage over the DBs. And if you want to throw a few jump balls, Cons, that should play into their advantage. No question.
Undoubtedly. And you're funny you bring that up. He's 6'5", but he's also the lightest receiver at 175. Like that's pretty crazy to be that big and lean. But hey, Randy Moss was tall, long, and lean, right? So put the ball up there, give them a chance. It becomes another weapon on the outside. And then all of a sudden, hey, you got to watch out for that. Maybe you're seeing some double teams in that direction, it opens up something else. So if they can capitalize on the players' heights there, that goes a long way too.
2:57 coming up in the next hour of the show. Sean Campbell will join us. We got Tater, Craig Button, Spec, LT. Also, JC Sheret, defensive coordinator of the Green and Gold. Caught up with him in year number 2. And I can just, like, everything from the coaching staff seems just a little bit more calm. Mark Killam talked at streamlined. I think that's fair. They know what to expect overall as a coaching staff. They've worked together, right? Other than the D-line coach, everybody's back on the defensive side of the ball. D-line coach has a loads of experience. So it should be a better season for the Green and Gold. But I'm telling you, 0-3, 0-7, 0-9, 0-3. That's their last 4 years starting. It can't happen. Like, they haven't had a winning season since 2017. 12-6. Then they went 9-9, then 8-10, and then it's been not good. 4-14, 4-14, 7-11, 7-11. Like, slow starts have crushed them. And I think it starts in preseason. You build up, and then you go into that Ottawa game. And I know it sounds dumb, Connor, but honestly, that's one of the biggest games for this organization in the last few years. Because if you win the game, your fans are watching on TV, builds a little excitement. Now you got 2 weeks for your home opener. And regardless of what happens, there's the hype of 2 weeks of, guess what? This team's undefeated. And it just matters because the fans haven't had that. They haven't won the season opener since 2018. 2019. Then they went 8-10. So it's not, you got to find a way to gain some momentum early in a season. To me, it's just a must. So I'm curious to see if it happens this year for the Green and Gold. It is the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We had, you know what? We don't do it very often. We got a pretty big long shot it's for fun on the Jays tonight. You might want to check that one out at PlayAlberta.ca and their odds boost special. Just why not? It involves Guerrero and Varsho and the Jays winning. Now, you've got a clear advantage on the mound tonight for the Jays. And they've won 2 in a row. We'll see. I know they haven't scored a lot of runs, but we'll see if maybe the offense gets going tonight. Here's the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. Now the weather's nicer. You're thinking vehicle, car, truck, maybe a convertible. Well, they have over 15,000 vehicles for you to choose from. 73 locations. You go online, goauto.ca. There's a location near you. You will find the color and the make and the model that you want. Goauto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 2 of the Western Conference Final from Denver tonight. Avs Golden Ice puck drop just after 6. No Makar, no Stone. Vegas did in that series 1-0 at the World Championship. Canada victorious over Slovenia, winning 3-1. They're back in action on Sunday, taking on Slovakia. In the association, Spurs and Thunder meeting in San Antonio. Series tied at 1 apiece. Tip-off set for 6:30. Major League Baseball, Jays Pirates from Toronto, first pitch just after 5 o'clock. We'll have that game for you here on Sports 1440 on our AM feed. Right now, Astros up on the Cubbies 4-2 at the end of the 8th inning. Later on tonight, you got the Twins and Red Sox. Yankees host the Rays, Tigers, and Baltimore. Royals get the Mariners. Athletics and Padres meeting from San Diego. And the White Sox in San Fran. Reds and Cards postponed. They'll make that one up tomorrow. In the CFL, preseason action tonight. Montreal hosting Ottawa at just after 5. The Elks kick off their season tomorrow in BC. That one get going at 3 o'clock. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Sean Campbell from TSN at 690 in Montreal. And here Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
In Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical, lighting, and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a Park View rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
If you're passionate about golf, you're in for a golfer's dream at the Quarry. Challenge and natural beauty come together across 27 holes every golfer should experience. Book now. Get geared up at the Pro Shop and start swinging at the Quarry. Don't forget the Granite Grill Restaurant, an unforgettable top-tier venue to host all your events. For rental details or to book your tee time, contact the Quarry today. Edmonton's most popular golf and event venue. Call 477-THE-Q and visit thequarryedmonton.com.
Is your business ready to grow? Not sure how? We have your solution. We are Stingray. Whether your customers are around the corner or across the country, Stingray connects you with radio to digital advertising, including connected TV, search and social, programmatic, digital advertising, and digital out of home. From idea to execution, we've got you covered. With creative and production, cross-platform integration, detailed reporting, and one-on-one support, it's the easy way to make your business grow. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
So Friday continues on. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger. Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website. 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Big night in sports, of course. Playoffs, NHL, Colorado needing a win, taking on Vegas. Meanwhile, the Thunder and the Spurs, they're even at 1 in that best of 7 in the NBA Western Conference Final. How about the Knicks? Knicks looking good through 2 games. Up on the Cavs 2-0. Well, the Knicks really weren't looking good for the first 40 minutes of game 1, and then had a ferocious comeback, overcame a 22-point deficit, tie it, and then beat them 11-1 in overtime. So since then, it's been all New York Knicks. Also, you got the Jays taking on the Pirates this weekend. You have the Elks on the road in BC taking on the Lions tomorrow. Once again, we've had people wondering, hey, can I watch the game? Yes. If you get CFL Plus, you can watch it there. It's easy. It's simple. And I think there's 2 preseason games on TSN. One tomorrow night. It's not the Elks, though. But if you want to see the Elks, you can. It's available at CFL Plus. And let's hope that it'll be, I'm told it's going to be better. So there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. The Elks depth chart, there's majority of starters are going, not all, but the majority of them are going. The running back position, that's probably the main one that isn't. As Rankin's not going, Leaks not going. Not a surprise, but no. Now is Fajardo going to play a ton? No, but they got a lot of the guys going. Just something that it makes sense. I get why they do it, and we'll see where they go. But some names, Connor. Like if you watch, like the names to watch for. No, Declan's been talking about Tennyson in the secondary. He's a guy that's opened some eyes to look for. You know who's played really well in camp? Now, obviously, I haven't been there nearly as much. I'm gonna say the player who's maybe surprised me the most would be Pace. He has looked really good, and like that, he looks strong. And I'm not saying he's there yet at the will linebacker positions. Obviously, going to start maybe I would assume more on specials to start, but don't sleep on him at all. I think for the green and gold. So you see, what I like is that the whole offensive line is going cons. That's what I think. Bordner, O'Donnell, Beard, Wood, Manzi, and Murray from left to right. Corte's obviously dressing. Evans is dressing. Those are guys who all started games last year in the CFL. Like, they got some depth. Hilaire and Mack. You throw in another guy, Cephas has looked pretty solid as well. So there's a few guys to watch for. Anyone for you that you're looking forward to watching, Cons?
Yeah, I was just talking to Declan about it with the 2 running backs gone. Isaiah Knight, a guy they drafted last year, I believe, 6 foot, 210, kind of a bruiser. And I kind of like the combination of that offensive line. Like, you're going to win games in the trenches. 3rd and short, we know how massive it can be. Can he provide that guy who comes in those situations and provide some depth? Also, a Canadian passport, which certainly doesn't hurt. But yeah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing the offensive line just get that cohesiveness going, and then the combination of Knight in the backfield is someone else I want to see. Of course, the quarterbacks outside of Cody Fajardo as well. That, to me, that's really interesting. For a few years, we had a lot of issues with quarterbacks staying healthy in the CFL. You never know when he's going to get the call.
Oh, yes.
So I'm intrigued to see how the second unit goes out there and how they look led by Powell, and then when Schneider gets out there as well.
And there's another player to watch for. And Decky, and get your mic because I'm curious. A player, and so it was pointed out to me that this guy played every special team snap last year. Every one. And Silas Hubert, the big D lineman, the Canadian, like they're pretty high on him. What do you think, Deck?
Yeah, he's a heck of a player. We had him on Elks Central, had a great conversation with him, real salt of the earth guy. But yeah, a teamer's teamer. Will fly down there. We'll do everything you need to do on kickoff return, on punt return. Like, he is just a guy who thrives in roles that people don't always try to thrive in. Like, if you're a teamer, yeah, you're of course trying to cut your teeth, but you're also kind of trying to prove it to get to one of those, starting spots, whether it be offense or defense, generally defense. He is a guy who takes his role and makes the absolute most of it. Heck of a player. And I'm glad he's getting a little bit of shine here, because I've loved what I've seen from him at every level of special teams.
Like, do you know how hard it is to play every snap of every special teams?
It's harder than being a starting offensive or defensive member. Like, legitimately.
Oh, yeah.
You're constantly like 3 plays, punt, but like you're constantly in and out. You're never getting the rest you need. You're not getting the oxygen. No one really thinks it. Like it's so tough to do. So to see a guy thrive in that environment is massive for a team.
And he did that as a rookie. Like it's just a wear and tear in your body. And you look at him, like it's funny. Like he's I think he's 24, and he's like compared to the average human, he's massive. He's like 6'5", 265, 270. But he just looks much more filled out this year than he did last year. Like obviously he had a good offseason. It's just, lots of people were still growing at that age. And, for bigger guys like that, he's somebody to watch for the green and gold this year. Cause he quietly was a big impactful guy in their special teams. And, I think they have the best punter in the league right now in Julian. So, and Blanchard's got potential to be very good. So I'll be curious to see, how you try to maximize your punter if you can. Obviously, I know it's one of those things, well, I don't really want to use my punter because that means the offense is going great. I understand it, but when you can, it's something I think they got to do.
Punters can win you games. Like they can absolutely flip the field. It's an absolute like luxury to have a guy that can do that. Even, you're not going to go drive down the field every single time. So when you get a punter who can switch the field, it's massive. I was going to say, nobody likes an extended drive more than Silas Hubert. Every first down he sees, he's happy so he can stay on the bench just a little bit longer, catches wind.
Yeah, definitely. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Also, Memorial Cup gets going this weekend. Kelowna and Everett, can they end the drought? The last Western League team to win the Memorial Cup, the 2014 Edmonton Oil Kings. Steve Hamilton was assistant coach on that team. He is the head coach of Everett. Kelowna, of course, has been waiting patiently after losing to Everett in the second round. So they'll be rested. There's no question about it. That will be their advantage. Are they as good as Everett? I don't think so, but it's kind of like it's a weird way, but it's a little bit like a whole new tournament and sees how it goes. Hey, Greg, just curious, if it turns out to be Montreal, Colorado, do you think we'd see the old Canadian Nordique rivalry from Brian? No. No, you're far removed from that. I don't see. Neither team is really built that way. Arbor Jackeyes not a regular in the lineup for the Canadians. The Avs don't have an overly abundance of aggressive players. Like Manson's big and strong and tough, but no, I don't. I would be stunned. You're not that. The Montreal, Quebec, when you talk great, fierce rivalries in NHL history, that one's right up there with Montreal and Boston and Edmonton and Calgary, Detroit and Colorado in their heyday, like Tampa Bay, Florida right now. That's Montreal, Quebec. Like it was vicious and it was mean. They'll have none of that. And the game's just not the same, and neither team is set up that way, nor is he. Nor are they, like there's no rivalry there. Like they didn't meet in 2021. Like I'm trying to think. Well, the last time they would have met was when Colorado was in Quebec. But since they moved there, there's nothing. So no, I don't see any bad blood at all. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, what are your thoughts on the Oilers' goaltending? I know you asked those guys, but I'm curious, what are realistic options if it's not Connor Ingram? Well, if it's not Connor Ingram, there's not a lot of free agent goalies out there, right? We've talked about this a little bit on the show, that I'm kind of like, well, I don't know what Connor Ingram is going to look for as a goaltender in free agency, but now, okay. So technically today, here's the list of potential free agents. Okay, you've got Sergei Bobrovsky, Skinner, Connor Ingram. Now Freddie Anderson is a guy. Cam Talbot, Dave Rittich, Danil Tarasov. Now that's an interesting name to me. He's 27 years of age. What happens with Florida? Because if Florida signs Bobrovsky, is he going to stay there? Tarasov might not. Vanacek, Calvin Pickard, James Reimer, Lauren Brossoit, Matt Murray, Peter Mrazek, Alexander Gordiev. Who else? Ivan Fedotov, meh. Capo Kakinen, meh. Yeah, that's it. So who are you looking at that you say, okay, wow, this is the guy. Like it's a lot of question marks, but the thing about the question marks is all you got to do is get the right one. There's always a few goalies that you're thinking, oh, okay. Like I'm curious to see where Stuart Skinner goes and who signs him. No, I don't think he's coming back to Edmonton. Don't text in. I don't. He's been here. Unfortunately, the majority of fans are great, but you had a few bonehead, like less than intelligent human beings, death threats to his family, contacting his wife, like just clueless people. Honestly. Like I really wish they'd track down those people. Like you got to be like, I don't know. Part of me thinks you're just not right in the head if you think that it's okay to threaten players' family. Heck, threaten anybody, but oh geez, you didn't make a save last night. Like, what? She never played. What are you talking about? So kind of dumb. But Eric Comrie's the other guy out of Winnipeg who's a free agent. So if they don't sign Ingram, like I know a lot of people talk about Sergei Bobrovsky. And hey, Sergei Bobrovsky, he's 37. And this past season was not good for him in Florida. I could sign Bobrovsky, but I'm not paying Bobrovsky a big-time contract because he won a Stanley Cup 2 out of the last 3 years. Because I'm not sure he can be that guy again moving forward. If he was 28, I don't even think he'd be reaching free agency. So, right, he would be signed. But I've heard that Bobrovsky is asking for a pretty big ticket from Florida, and rightfully so. He's the goalie who's won 2 cups. Brad Marchand won 1 cup with them, and he got a contract for 6 years until he's 42. So I could see how Bobrovsky says, "Hey, wait a sec. I'm the goalie. Dude, I'm the same age as him. Why can't I get a 4 or 5 year deal?" I'd heard the number was 40 mil, 8 mil a year for 5 years. Now, what you ask for and what you get are 2 totally different things. But his problem is he's coming off a very subpar season. But I think there'll be some intrigue by a lot of people. They look and say, hey, man, if we have good team defense, I think he can help us. So he's the clear, and Freddie Anderson. But Freddie Anderson's another question mark. Age, more importantly, health. Is Freddie Anderson going to stay healthy? I don't know. Does anybody know? Now, he's been healthy this year. Awesome. He also hasn't had to play too much, which has always been kind of the concern for him, right? Ends up playing too much, becomes an issue. So those are the only guys that I think you would say are clear potential upgrades over Connor Ingram. The rest would be, well, I like this guy. Maybe I think he's better. Okay. Right. I don't mind Daniil Tarasov, though. Younger guy, 27, finally starting to get some traction. I'd have interest in him. If he gets to the free agent market, I'd have interest in him. And I don't believe he's going to cost a ton. Right? I don't think Connor Ingram is going to cost that much, but he still might get a pretty hefty ticket. So, see where it goes. We'll come back. And when we return, talk a little more NHL with you. How about a team when you have a game plan and you execute the game plan perfectly? How much it was pre-scouting? Because last night I saw some clear tendencies that show me the Montreal Canadiens were scouting for a few specific areas to exploit on Carolina, and they did. Is it because Carolina was out of sync, had me not played in almost 2 weeks? Maybe. Or was it more on the Montreal Canadiens and their game plan? We'll find out next. It's Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Summit Restaurant. Located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common, Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
What's that? Is that actually spring? Like no snow squalls or bad weather tomorrow? It's actually spring? Well, GS Construction welcomes the warmer weather because that means we can really get to work. Now, it doesn't matter if there was bad weather. This is our time to shine. But we can't do it without good people to do that work. That's why GS Construction is hiring pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. If you want to join a team who loves their work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC.
No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun, and you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 Select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 Select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Rivalries run deep in Alberta football.
Edmonton all the way.
Calgary rules.
But when it comes to the best snack for 3-down fun, there's no Battle of Alberta. It's a clear winner.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
The one thing every Alberta fan agrees on. So whether you're watching the game from your recliner or in the stands, make it a part of your game day.
Wilhock Beef Jerky. Because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Millions and millions of Canadians do not have a doctor. We have a crisis. Canada's Medical Clinic is opening clinics across Canada to allow everyone to have a doctor to call their own. Early detection saves lives. We've got some great news. You can call now and book an appointment with your new doctor. Canada'sMedicalClinic.com. And more good news. Canada's Medical Clinic Windermere is also now a walk-in clinic. We'll see you there.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with ASV PosiTrack at Emerald Equipment.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
327. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, of course, game 2 between the Colorado Avalanche, Vegas Golden Knights. Oilers fans who are hoping Bruce Cassidy will get interviewed are clearly cheering for Colorado because allegedly, when the playoffs are over, they'll have more time. They'll be able to spread their focus elsewhere, and maybe they will grant permission to Bruce Cassidy. But don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Meanwhile, in the Eastern Conference, the Carolina Hurricanes, maybe it doesn't matter who the opposition is. Maybe they just get to the third round and they can't win. They're 1-17 in their last 18 games in the conference final, dating back to 2009. They got swept 3 times in a row. Then they lost to the Panthers 4-1 last year, and Montreal beat them handily 6-2 last night. Yikes! That's not good. As we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Where? Stop in right now, McD's. The $5 Happy Meal. Maybe you want the sausage McMuffin, or get the McDouble for only $5. Pretty sweet deal right now at McDonald's. And from TSN 690 in Montreal, Sean Campbell joins us. Sean, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Hey, good yourself, man. It's been busy. You talk about, so busy. Vegas is busy. They can't do anything. Can't let Cassidy do anything. Right now in Montreal, we are so busy with the Habs in the playoffs right now. I almost forgot I had an Owls game to call tonight.
I don't know how you're doing both, Sean. I really don't. It's an amazing thing that you can do 2 things at one time. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, as long as the games don't happen on the same day, I'm good.
Yeah. We'll get to the Owls in a sec. But to the Montreal Canadiens last night, I found a stat that going into the series, in the regular season, the Carolina Hurricanes allowed the most breakaways in the National Hockey League at 146. And clearly, I think Montreal knew that in their game plan. You look at how many, I went through all their goals again, and not only their goals, some of their scoring, they had a lot of chances off the rush. Even before Carolina's second goal, Cole Caulfield, 2.5 minutes in, he kind of had a partial breakaway down the right wing. They clearly, I know Carolina didn't play their best game, but Montreal's game plan was to exploit that area of weakness in Carolina, and they did with multiple breakaway chances.
Yeah, that first period, looking back at it, that was Martin St. Louis way more prepared than Ron Brind'Amour was. And it's kind of easy to get ready for Carolina because they're a predictable team. You know what they're going to do because what they do works. It picks up points and they win rounds. They just can't win the third round. You gave that number of when it comes to the conference final. But Martin St. Louis, in round 1 against Tampa, played a certain way. Said, we're going to have to play 2-1, 0-0 games. Okay. Against Buffalo, wheel and deal, and let's go back and forth. Okay, you want to forecheck us? We're going to give a counterattack. The Canadians love resetting and having possession. If you watch enough Canadians hockey, they'll do the D-to-D pass behind the net 3 times a shift just to settle things down and move forward. I think they did that 3 times in the entire game yesterday, knowing that Carolina was going to come. So every time Carolina came at them, they made the puck go the other way, which created odd man rushes and breakaways. It was really a great strategy. And if they execute a game 2, it'll probably work again because Ron Brind'Amour and Carolina, they're stubborn. They don't change the way they're going to play. All they want to do right now is play better. They need to play better. Their style does work. They can win games that way. But if the Canadians execute like they did in the first period, Carolina's in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. And the big thing for Montreal was the way they score, and Slavin, maybe the second worst game of his NHL career defensively, which is weird to say. But Montreal, they really exploited Carolina with speed and quick transition, moving the puck up the ice, deft passing. And the thing is, Demidov, who's been pretty slow, didn't do much in the first round, slow start to the Buffalo series. Then he got his first goal, and it's all of a sudden, boom, he's relaxed. He had a great goal again last night. Caulfield, Slavkovsky both scoring 5-on-5, which has been a little bit of a nemesis for them. Montreal won the game, but they got a lot of their stars feeling even better about themselves offensively, and that could be dangerous.
Yeah, I think the big one yesterday, you mentioned Demidov. I think he's been playing great since Game 6 against Tampa. He was the game's best player. Vasilevsky was just unreal, making some stops. And then he played a good Game 7, but no one was on the score. He wasn't getting the points, but he was playing well. Slavkovsky last round down the stretch did not play well. He did not. He started well against Tampa, but against Buffalo, the speculation, was he hurt? Was this happening? Was that happening? I'm not sure. But Slafkovsky was the one that got going yesterday with that pass, that blind pass to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield scores 5-on-5. And I know it was a meaningless goal and then maybe a meaningless empty netter, but it wasn't meaningless to Juraj Slafkovsky. That was huge that he was able to do that. Nick Suzuki, he was producing points. He was looking great. I think all around, Slafkovsky was the guy that I would circle on that top line that needed to get going, and he did yesterday.
Yeah. So you look at the obviously Carolina's going to be better. That was one of the worst games. I do think Russ played a factor, but I don't want to discount what Montreal did for sure. But they're now 4-0 against the Hurricanes. They beat them all 3 times in the regular season. So rest might be one thing, but it's not the only thing. What did you see from the regular season that maybe carried over into last night?
It's tough because, yes, the Canadiens went 3-0. They had a game on New Year's. And if you go back, and I called that game, and it was like 2 teams that were hungover from New Year's Eve. It was crazy. Like, it was a 7-5, 7-6 game back and forth. You kind of have to discard that one. Then you had the Jakub Dobeš game where he stood on his head. So there was really one game where you say the Canadiens, they went out there, played their system, and beat them. But Carolina, you know, if you scout them properly, they can be got. It just you have to be able to move that puck. And the Canadiens, they made the move. Last series, Arbor Xhekaj played 7 games, and he played well. And then he got limited near the end. But then this series, Martin St. Louis doesn't care. It's a different opponent. Needs different players. Jaden Struble, you're in. You move the puck better, you skate better. So that's an asset that we're going to use. You're going to play 14 minutes. Go ahead. You know, we're going to be comfortable that way. I think that he's playing to the opposition, but using his assets to his advantage, and which is Montreal's skill and ability to pass and move the puck quickly. So I'm putting a lot on Martin St. Louis preparing for this, and you could go back to the regular season and look at those games, but maybe 1 out of those 3 games you can find something that works for Montreal.
Yeah. No, okay, that's fair. What do you make about the changes on the blue line for the Habs? Do you think we'll see Xhekaj again?
I don't think so. I think that, you know, Xhekaj was there as a physical force against Buffalo. They had no problem. You know, if the series gets tight and the games get tight, Struble's numbers will go down. And the fact that they got Dobson back late in that Tampa series really allowed them to just go to 5 defensemen. And Xhekaj didn't play much, so they play 5 defensemen. They're comfortable with 5 defensemen. They don't care if Matheson and Hudson and Dobson play 24, 25, 26 minutes. They can lean on all those guys. Gouli stepped up his game. Carrier was unbelievable in Game 7. And he could be a bit of a roller coaster ride. But, yeah, they're comfortable if they have to drop 1 and go to 5. But against Carolina, they're going to use 6, and they're going to trust Struble's ability to skate a little bit more than Xhekaj. So I think they're going to stick with the 6, but I mean, it's hard to, you know, move forward. These moves that Marty makes are so minute, so small, but they do make a difference.
Yeah, well, they definitely do. Sean Campbell joins us. When you look at the overall play for the Habs, like, you know, to me, Gouli's played well. Like, there's very few guys in that team. Like, Newhook's been unbelievable. The top guys are scoring. You know, I know who didn't do much offensively in the regular season a little bit. Man, he's been great for them as well in the postseason. Like, when you got to win, you need lots of guys. And right now, Montreal, I'm trying to think of a guy on their team who's not contributing. I can't really think of one.
Yeah, and even if you think about it, Gallagher got in late in the Tampa Bay series, and he contributed when he got in the lineup. He didn't play against Buffalo, but he was able to contribute when he was there. You know, it's interesting. You mentioned Danault and Texier. Those are early moves that Kent Hughes made. He made them in December. He didn't make these at the trade deadline. Texier became available, signed as a free agent for pennies on the dollar. Then he got an extension right away. The guy was scoring hat tricks in back-to-back games, playing alongside Suzuki and Caulfield when Slafkovsky was on the second line. Danault comes in, doesn't produce, but wins faceoffs and contributes. And now in the playoffs, he's actually scoring goals. He's out there on 6-on-5 just to win a faceoff, and then he stays out there with a net front presence. Everybody knows their role. There's no one on this team that goes there and goes, you know, I'm not sure where I fit in. Well, Duke knows what he needs to do. Docking knows what he needs to do. To know, like, everybody has a role on this team. So the depth from 1 to past 13, you know, with Kapanen and Veleno and Gallagher, if they get in the lineup, they know exactly what they need to do when they come in. Like Veleno got in the lineup, and he knew he was going to be on the penalty kill when he played. He's not part of the penalty kill because he didn't play last game. They'll use somebody else, but he knows his job when he's there.
Now let's switch quickly to the Als. Any new faces? I know tonight. Anybody specific you're looking at?
Yeah, it's interesting because you're so focused on the Canadians. You're a week into training camp as his first game. I'm excited to just see Davis Alexander. If he's getting flushed out of the pocket once or twice? I think he's only going to play a series or two. So you never preseason. You want to watch that first series because he's going to be make it or break it for the Als. But I guess the big battle on the Alouettes this year is because Marc-Antoine Dequoy is gone. He's retired, going to play a little flag football for Team Canada. And you have a couple Canadians, Jonathan Sutherland, which they drafted in 2023, Arthur Hamlin, and Nate Beauchemin. I don't know who's going to come out with that job. I don't. It's three Canadians. One of them's going to be getting the job. Probably one's going to be on the roster, and the other one might be on a practice roster or let go. So I'm curious how that's going to play out, and that's one that I circled. Other than that, a lot of returning players for the Alouettes, and they know that if they're healthy, they're going to be one of the top teams in the East.
Yeah, Hamilton's really the only team that's going to be able to push them for the East, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ottawa went through all those changes with Dinwiddie coming in, and we'll see if that, changes the mentality of how they go through things. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Ottawa's kind of been toiling, thinking they're good and then not. Toronto, I think we'll see with Chad Kelly coming back if that makes a difference for the Argos. But yeah, Hamilton's going to be a team, but I think Montreal should be able to take the East this year if they stay healthy.
Awesome, Sean. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy the game tonight. And then, of course, rocking in Montreal. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like Monday night in Montreal. Be going crazy. So enjoy it. Should be a lot of fun. Appreciate your time.
I don't know if I'm mentally ready for Monday yet, but it's still a couple of days away.
Awesome. There you go. That's Sean Campbell
Cheers.
from ESN in Montreal. And the Habs, I give them a ton of credit for that game 1-1. I know that Carolina is going to be better. I understand that. But they exploited Carolina's major weakness. They give up the most breakaways in the NHL, and not by a little. They gave up 146. The next closest was 124. They gave up double the team in Dallas who had the fewest at 69. Right? So Carolina has lots of good attributes. But the one thing about the playoffs, and you've seen it as an Oilers fan watching the last few years, remember against Vancouver, Edmonton early on was struggling. Shelov's looked good, and then they're like, hey, you know what? We realized that he's terrible on long shots through screens from the point. And they just started firing point shots, and they scored. And that was a big reason why they won the series. When you can pinpoint a weakness and exploit it in a 7-game series, because it's really hard for teams to go like Carolina's played. They play the same way all the time. Are they suddenly going to change? Maybe they do. And if they do change, well, that plays into Montreal's favor. So they'll be aggressive as they always are. But the thing is, Montreal's skill, if you're giving Demidov and Slavkovsky and Caulfield and these guys repeated looks, they're going to bury some of them. They just are. Montreal has more natural high-end finishing ability than Philly did or Ottawa. And I'm not sure it's that close. Ottawa has a few guys, but even their guys aren't, there's no 50-goal scorer in Ottawa. Right? Demidov's really good. Suzuki's good. Right? And then you got, Newhook's playing out of his mind right now. But that's the difference. So for Carolina, if they can't find a way to shut down, and here's the thing, Montreal only had 21 shots on goal. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And Carolina gave up way too many good looks, and Montreal exploited them. And that was the big difference. 341, Gregor, Halley. We got a lot of texts to get to, and we got an interesting question for you on a Positive Friday next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for two. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 five-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
New at Papa John's, the spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. Delivery or carry out. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
To the guy who said, I'll marinate the chicken, then forgot. Hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. We've got you covered with a variety of freshly prepared kebabs, ranging from chicken to beef and pork. They even come pre-marinated, so all that's left is pretending you made it yourself. And they're on sale this week. For more great summer deals, check our flyer at safeway.ca. Variety may vary by store. See flyer for details.
That's the way.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Looking for a tasty lunch? Papa John's has you covered. Get a small 2-topping pizza for only $9.99 with code S999 at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
347, Positive Friday. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Always appreciate it. The question I have, well, I always, on Friday, we always like to have kind of a non-sports question for you, because it's a little fun. It's a little casual. It's Friday. And with everything going on in well, not just in the world, in our own province, for goodness sakes, I probably need a little humor. So Cons, when you got to remember, I never had a garage at any, like at the farm. When I lived at the farm, I never parked in the garage, and we never had an automatic garage door opener. So I never had one in condos and places that I lived up until I got married in the first house that we had, and I had a garage. And I early on, I would forget to close the door, back out, not a lot, but just like probably once every few weeks. Right. So it became an issue. And I was like, what are you doing? People are going to steal stuff. So I just kind of hammered myself, like, don't leave the garage door, don't leave the garage door, don't leave the garage. And now I never leave the garage door. But the problem is, if I'll be leaving the house, I'm like, hey, don't shut the garage door, I'm leaving in like 5 minutes. Yeah. Back out, boom, garage door shut. It's just like such a conscious habit where like now I've overcompensated. Like I literally cannot back out of my driveway without just reaching over, boom, garage door goes down. Because it got to the point where it was like, it was bothering my wife a lot that I was leaving the garage door open. So it's just like, so it doesn't matter. Like I literally have to put a sticky note on my head. Don't close the garage door now. So what is one thing? So that's one thing that I'm just kind of curious about is you have now in your life where you know that it's like, I should be smarter, but I can't do it. Like I cannot break the habit of shutting the garage door, even when I'm not supposed to. Like it's so stupid. I'm like, am I an idiot? No, just habitual. Garage door goes down. It's never open, but when it's supposed to be, it goes down.
It's a good question. Trying to think here. I will say, just on the topic of garage door closing, I'm very paranoid that I'm going to forget. Like I will drive down the street and like check the rear view 2 or 3 times just to make sure that it's down. I don't know. Nothing's coming to the top of my mind right now with that one.
Yeah, I'm probably in a very minority of idiots. That's what I would think. Right? That's what I would think. So, and then the other thing, do you know, does your wife sleep with do you sleep with a weighted blanket?
No, we had one. I did not like it. She used it for a little bit, but it's found its way to the closet. We don't touch it anymore.
Dude, I don't know how people do it. Like, I can't even sleep if the weighted blanket's on her side of the bed. Like, like if she's gone away, she went away on a trip this past weekend, and I was just like, get rid of that thing. Like, I don't know how people do it. Like, I want to sleep with a light sheet. Like I told you, we actually have a duvet that is, because we have a king size bed, and it's 2 duvets sewn together. Because she needs like a thick thing. Like, man, she'd sleep in a parka if she could, and I'm complete opposite. But the weighted blanket one, like, I don't understand how people do it. I just feel like it's way too hot. I'm just like, it's like you just got somebody on you. I can't do it at all. So
they're expensive too.
No, I didn't even look. I didn't want to know if they're expensive.
I bought Ashley one for, it had to be her birthday a few years ago.
So you bought, and now it just sits in the closet.
Now it just sits
there,
yeah.
But so is that expensive? You just say, hey, I paid a lot of money for that. You're going to suck it up and you're going to sleep in it.
I see it there. I'm like, what a waste. I think it was good for like restless legs or something. I feel like that might have been a thing.
So the weighted blanket was supposed to stop restless legs?
It like helped it. Yeah.
Did it help it?
Unconfirmed reports tell me no. If she stopped using it, or maybe it cured her.
Maybe well, now you don't notice it. She doesn't talk about it.
That doesn't talk about it. So it must have been healed. But yeah, that's one thing. I'm kind of like you. I think just like a sheet. That's all I need. 2 blankets, too much.
Hey guys, my wife should answer this. She never puts the milk away or anything that's cold. What? Just leave the milk? Look, you can't leave the milk on the counter. It's a tough one, man. That'd be infuriating, right? Like I can't go to bed. Well, I shouldn't say can't. Like it's happened a few times, but kitchen needs to be clean. I can't. I don't know. I get some satisfaction out of it. Just like having a clean kitchen. Have to do it. So
especially in the sink.
Yeah.
For me, I hate when people leave dishes in the sink. Always keeping that clean.
Guys, my wife always wants me to pick up the bath mat and hang it on the edge of the bathtub. I always forget to do it. My whole life, the bath mat has stayed on the floor from Lance. Well, yeah. I'm with you on that one. Right? Like, we have a mat. It stays on the floor. Why do you pick it up? Where's your bath mat, Cons? You hang it over the edge of the...
No.
Yeah. Like, why? What's the point of that?
I have seen that before, and I guess you're hanging it to dry it perhaps a little bit. Does it change anything if it's laying flat on the floor versus hanging over?
Well, in theory it does,
Like
because, but I don't know, like, are you an otter? Like, you getting out of the tub and just spraying water everywhere? Like, usually if you have like a bathtub where you have a shower mat, you dry off in it and then you walk out. Yeah, to me, that was, you're teaching your wife, Lance, the right way. Bath mat hang over the tub. Come on. There's no chance. Like, no guy ever would do that, I don't think. I shouldn't say no guy, most guys. There's always some, but can't do it. No chance.
Lights on around the house. That's a fair one.
Oh, lights on in the house, brutal.
I'm very
you're
particular
bad for
about that. Yeah. Well, no, I want them off.
You want them?
Like,
I'm with you, man.
yeah.
Like, there's nothing worse. Like, why is the light on in the kitchen? We're not in the kitchen anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or like when it's really light out, like it's peak sun hours. Why is the light on? We don't need the light. It doesn't add anything.
No.
You can't tell if it's even on.
Now,
why is it on?
Okay, but what about when you're eating dinner?
Like see your food.
Yeah, no.
That's
Because,
awesome.
so when I went to my in-laws and God rest in peace, my father-in-law Doug, who's a great guy, but like it was a joke. Like I'd go over there, I'm like, I can't even see you guys across the room. Like he loved having the lights down, right? And my wife now sometimes, like I'll be sitting in the kitchen, I like to just have a little bit of light on. No, lights off. I'm like, what are you doing? Like now I just feel tired. I'm like, I want to go to sleep. But we'd be visiting over there Christmas, different holidays. It'd be like 5 PM. I'm like, I'm gonna start falling asleep here on the couch. It's way too dark in this room. Can we turn some lights on in here? Like, should we be conversing? It was hilarious. Like, I'm not talking a little bit. Like, it was like dark. But I know that, and Doug was big on, hey, you know what, man? Back in the caveman days, because this is how we're supposed to live, which there's some truth to, that we have too much, unnatural light around. It keeps us all focused. You're supposed to turn the lights down when you're going to bed. Okay, I get it. I'm like, well, that's great, but we haven't even had dinner yet. It's 4 PM in the afternoon. Seems a little dark in here. So
I might be Team Doug.
Oh, you have your.
I don't get it my way at the house, but I don't mind it dark. I lived in like the basement when I had roommates. I had the basement for a long time. I kind of adapted to it.
Okay.
Became a little Bane-like living in the basement.
Yeah. That's fair. That's totally fair. Guys, how many floor coverings does a bathroom need? Do you have a bathroom you can play baseball in? You have one mat. I agree with you. Like, I don't even know if they have them. Like, when I was a kid, you remember you used to have the bath sets, and you had the one mat that would go around the bottom of the toilet, and then there was another one in the middle of the floor. Like,
yeah.
They don't seem
Wasn't it a toilet seat cover too?
The toilet seat cover. Classic. It was very classy. They're all matching, white or blue, different ones. That's not really a thing anymore that I can think of, but I vividly remember that as a kid. Right? Does your parents still have it?
Not anymore, no. But for a long time, it was like the fuzzy material.
Totally. And then the worst part was, lots of times, if you went to put the seat up, it would always fall back down.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You kind of had to hold it with your hand. I'm like, well, this is a joke.
Thick
Right?
one.
And hey, that's another argument we can totally, women always like, hey, put the seat down. Hey, ladies, maybe put the seat up when you're done.
Goes both ways.
What's the difference here? Honest question. Right? Honest question. Just keep it down. Right? Lift it up. If you're done with it, put it, like, why is down the starting position? If you don't want to pee on, wouldn't you want to lift it up? Just saying. So
Got to go with the majority. I know you.
Yeah. So if you're in a household where there's more men than women, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
That could actually, I think, Connor, you've just come up with something. Now, lots of households they're like, well, what if it's even? Well, then I guess it's the majority on the floor level, right? Because maybe if you got a teenager in the basement, you got 3 of you upstairs. If you're upstairs and it's, son and father and mom, well, guess what, mom? You're outnumbered upstairs. Go downstairs, the seat will always be down.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. Connor, that has made me the most genius, simple idea you've ever come up with on the show.
Very simple.
Majority rules in the house. I get it. So I like that.
beneficiary to both you and I in this situation.
Hey guys, my son, when he was younger, kept leaving his lights on in his room. I'd get home from work, they'd be on. So I took the light bulbs out. He had no lights in the morning when dark, flashlight, looking for clothes. Good lesson. Lights came off from Rowdy Roddy. That is true, man. Eventually, it's like, turn the light. Oh, you don't remember to turn the lights off? Now you don't get the lights on. That is a great dad lesson. Like, that's a classic dad lesson. Doesn't hurt you. It just, you learn pretty quickly. Switch goes on, there's no lights. Oh, maybe I should shut them off. It's good. Hey, Gregor, how about if the toilet paper roll gets fed from the top or the bottom of the roll? Yeah, you know what, Scott? I remember I was young, probably 22, and I dated a girl, and she actually got upset about that. I was staying at her house or whatever, and toilet paper roll was empty, and so I changed it and put the toilet paper roll on. And I don't know, like 2 weeks later, we're talking about some shit. Oh, yeah, and you put the toilet paper roll on upside down. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how the hell can I put the toilet paper roll on upside down? Like, you just put it on the bar. What do you mean upside down? It's like, no. It's got to come over the top, not from underneath. And I'm like, does it matter? Like, can you unroll it either way? I still don't get it. Like, I know that I looked it up online. There's a thing, this is the proper way to do it. I'm like, does it really matter? Like, honestly, I don't seem to care. But like, that was the start of the end of the relationship, Gons. When you're that upset about the paper roll, which way it goes, can't do it. Out.
You got to draw the line in the sand, I suppose. If there's something you really believe in.
Doesn't that seem a little bit over the top?
A little bit, yeah.
Like, did you ever care which way the toilet paper roll went?
No, it's all good for me.
Yeah, even now, like, you're just like, just put it on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is it going over or under? Honestly, can you still unroll it? Can you still use it? Then yes. To me, it's nothing to worry about. Hey, Gregor, my wife is so anal about meat out the fridge. If I'm in the middle of making a ham and cheese sandwich, I'll go for the cheese. She's already taken the meat off the counter and put it back in the fridge. I got to go get it out again. Put the cheese back. Oh, Darce, I could see that. That's a Serenity Now moment. It's like, honey, I'll get to the cheese. I'll get to the meat. Just let me finish the sandwich. Because sometimes you like to put the cheese on. Right? Maybe you put your condiments on the sandwich. Then you put your meat. Then the cheese. And sometimes you like to put meat again on top of the cheese before you close it. I get it. (833-401-1440), 833-401-1440. What kind of animals are you guys? Toilet paper has to go over. Without rules, there's chaos. Team Dean. Come on, Dean. Well, clearly for some people, it's a big deal. I didn't even know. I never even knew it was actually a thing beforehand. Honestly, I didn't. Like, I'm in my 20s. I'm like, what do you mean the paper go? Like, I never knew that. And even afterwards, I didn't care about it. I might have known about it, but I sure didn't care about it. Like, I've never noticed that much of a difference. Like, because to me, I'm like, if the roll has to go one way, like, how weak are you that you can't roll the paper top to bottom or come out the backside? Like, does it matter? I don't see how it does. Coming up in the next hour, something tells me Craig Button, very stickler for these type of things, Cons. Bath mat with butts, probably hangs it up. Guaranteed. Definitely a guy who would worry about which way the toilet paper roll is coming over. So we'll talk to him about that. We're also going to talk Memorial Cup and RFAs. Now people are starting to talk. Some of the contracts. Now the Edmonton Oilers, they don't really have anybody who's in a big raise situation. Now Jason Dickinson, Connor Murphy, each of those guys made $4+ million last year. They both need contracts. Kasperi Kapanen, he's another guy on the Oilers who's a pending UFA who needs a contract. Right? I don't see Roslovic. I don't see Henrique. Right? Max Jones could re-sign, but not sure he's going to get a raise. Probably get the same contract. Right? Curtis Lazar, same thing. So Edmonton doesn't have any worries about big ticket deals. Because even Jason Dickinson, like, he'll get a good deal, but he's not going to get like a massive deal. It's more so about term. But I think the summer of Edmonton is all going to be about trades. And there's a list of players that I have, Connor. Like, here's some of the names. Remember, he got traded. He just negated the trade. Colton Parayko. If the team's willing to trade you at the trade deadline, they're probably willing to trade you in the summer, if you're willing. So St. Louis, Jordan Binnington entered the final year of his deal. They got Holfer. They got kind of their next goalie. Would they move him? We've heard about Kyrou or Thomas. One of those guys have been rumored for a long time. Vinny Trocheck. Shane Wright in Seattle. Mason McTavish. His name's been out there for quite a few months in Anaheim. And he's got 5 years left, $7 million. But you're going to get a young player who's 23 for 5 years. I think you'd have some interest from a lot of teams. Consistencies being a little bit of a problem, but name the amount of NHL players who are younger who don't struggle with bouts of inconsistency. So we'll get to some of those names. Morgan Riley, of course, is a name. Like, I think it's almost for sure that he's probably looking for a change. They're looking for a change. What about the Vancouver Canucks now? They've said they're in a rebuild, so I don't know if anyone would take Elias Pettersson. He's got 6 years left at $11.6 million. What about Jake DeBrusk? He just signed there. He's got 5 more years at $5.5. Right? I know Oilers fans. The name that's out there, Sebastian Cossa. Is this the time to take a swing at him? We'll discuss all that in the next hour after Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services that you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Go to hiregood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives at Hire Good.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 2 of the Western Conference Honolulu tonight from Denver. Puck drop at 6. Habs trail the Golden Knights 1-0. No Makar, no Stone in this one at the World Championships. Canada knocks off Slovenia 3-1. They'll be back in action Sunday, taking on Slovakia. In the association's Game 3, Spurs Thunder from San Antonio. Tip-off at 6:30 with that series tied at the game apiece. In the majors, the Blue Jays in action. They'll kick off a series against the Pirates tonight from Toronto. First pitch, 5:07. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor Show at 6 on our AM feed. One final from earlier today, Cubs at home falling to the Astros 4-2. Later on tonight, you got Athletics, Padres, Mariners, Royals, Brewers host the Dodgers, and the Tigers head to Baltimore. Game 1 of the Memorial Cup kicks off tonight as the host Kelowna Rockets taking on OHL champion Kitchener Rangers, starting at 6 o'clock. In the CFL preseason action, Montreal and Ottawa. That will start at 5. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to the stats of the day, ask 5 questions, and be joined by Craig Button from the NHL on TSN. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, the Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com. Diamond Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991. Or visit silentrides.ca.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-beaded memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels.
They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Welcome back to Nissan Head to Head. Rogue's showing up with an unbelievable estimated highway range of up to 800 kilometers per tank. Some of the other guys are stepping up now with yet another fuel stop. Some wins are really obvious.
Qualifying owners can lease a Nissan Rogue S for the equivalent of $99 weekly at 0% for 36 months, $430 monthly. Offer includes $1,100 Nissan bonus and 0.4% loyalty rate reduction. Conditions apply. Visit Nissan.ca for details.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Euphoria is back, and it's only on Crave. The groundbreaking HBO original, Critics Call, one of the most explosive, heartbreaking, and entertaining shows on television, returns for a new season, starring Emmy winner Zendaya.
If you make a deal with the devil, there's no turning back.
A new chapter begins. The real world awaits, and their story changes forever.
Wherever these unlucky folk go, there's a cascade of trouble.
Euphoria, new season. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Of course, to this hour, brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips, we fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's a positive Friday. It's a beautiful day out. Going to be a good weekend. Hey, they're saying 24 degrees tomorrow. Hope it happens. Should be pretty nice out. It's nice. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And it's positive Friday. We're thinking positive. You can get 10 mil upper grabs at Lotto Max. Also, the Jason Gregor Show special. Got a little bit of a, I don't even know if it's a crazy long shot, but it includes a VAR Show double. But, just for fun. Try it out. Check it out. PlayAlberta.ca, the Gregor Show. It's probably maybe our biggest long shot, at least as far as odds go. But I don't think it's even that crazy. So you can check it out. Coming up this hour, we'll get to Cam Tate. We're going to also hear from JC Sheret, the defensive coordinator of the Green and Gold. Actually, let's get to that right now with JC Sheret, the DC of the that's defensive coordinator of the green and gold. Feel as a DC this camp can maybe compare to last year?
Yeah, I mean, the continuity is everything in this league. And so to come back with almost the exact same staff, we have a new D-line coach in Cedric Douglas, but the continuity of staff and players has made it, it's a little smoother than year one, which it should be.
What did you learn most about you as a coach last year?
Just the process oriented. The cliches are real. You stick to your process, which is improvement, evaluating you live week to week. What could we have done better? How can we have a better practice? How could we call it better? And in an 18-game season, you see it'll pay off for you. Obviously, we learned last year it's got to happen faster, and that's been a focus of this offseason.
Nick Anderson told me he sat in a few coaches meetings with you in the offseason. As a former middle linebacker, I think you understand a little bit of the captain at times of your defense. How important was it to have him in there, and how much do you think that can benefit your group and maybe what he sees and what you see at the same time?
I think it's huge. You get a different perspective from a player of you see the full picture and the importance of each individual's roles, and I think he's really bought into that as far as that middle anchor piece, understanding him doing his job at an elite level might not be making every tackle or every pick. It's just doing his job, getting everybody lined up and running the show. And I think he really understands the importance of that.
With his injury, Mogensen got a lot of playing time and did very well. And those guys have different strengths at different times. Are you expecting to have four linebackers on the field at multiple different times this year?
I know competition's the highest it's been here at the linebacker position these last 2 years. Those guys are playing very, very good football. So we're always going to be open to it. I think you got to look at roster. You got to think how this preseason plays out, who takes these good practices and can do it on the games. And, we're open to that possibility.
Having gone through preseason as a player, now as a coach, it's only 2 games. I know they're going to try to dress everybody, at least get a few snaps in each game. But when you go over the film, what are you looking for in those tight decisions between a guy who's a starter and he's going to be a backup, and you've got some real good competition? How much of it plays into a preseason game, or is it more all of the snaps in camp?
It plays a huge factor because it's live bullets, and we're looking for people who can execute the play call with speed and violence. At our level that we expect out of our defensive players, who can do it when it really matters. Can you make the play?
Your secondary all returns, and then you got the 2 Williams guys kind of competing for one position, which is nice. Just how much more open or deep can you go in your playbook to start the year this year than you did last year because of all the experience that now the guys have?
Yeah, it's not even we can install more for sure, but I think it's more we get to perfect our go-to stuff, and we're at a much higher clip right now, whereas we got to take off from where we left last year. So their continuity of perfecting, because within a defensive call, you can play it 9 different ways when you understand the components. So I think us trying not to be too smart at coaches and let those guys play fast.
You mentioned play fast now multiple times. So clearly that's the goal of the team. And playing fast is probably just less thinking and more natural reacting. And how do you get to that place? I know it's not like you don't think the game, but you just want to react to know where you're going. Is it repetition? Is it experience? What is it? And how does a coach help guys to play faster?
It's all of the above. It's the repetition. It's getting to watch our film from last year, knowing the strength and the weakness of each call, getting out here, doing it in practice and over and over and over, and just perfecting your craft. And us as coaches making sure that if you were a couple feet off, couple yards off, it's not okay. It's correcting it on the spot. It's not being it's holding each other accountable every day.
Mark mentioned he feels that this camp has been more streamlined than last year and maybe more efficient. And just when you're doing reps, when you're going through what to do you sense that? And how has that altered maybe what you do as a DC?
Yeah, I think starting in the off season, I think it's been more streamlined because that's our jobs as coaches, is to make every year better than it was. I mean, that has to be it. So you feel a comfort level, you feel the efficiency, and that's what we're trying to do, is get the most out of every practice, whether that's how we walk through, how we use our time, evaluating our play calls, running our data. All those things matter, and we have to be better every year that we're hired by this organization.
You mentioned the only new faces on the D-line as far as the coaching staff goes. how long does it take for you and Cedric to get on the same page and understand kind of how the rotation of the D linemen work in game and everything like that?
That started, the day of his hire. He's a very high work ethic, determined, talented coach. He comes from the States, and my time there, we speak a lot of the same language schematically, and that brought us up to speed quickly. I have full confidence in him. He's been a huge attribute to us as a staff, and he will make a difference for us this year.
What are some of the key things that you'll be looking for in the preseason game this weekend?
Guys able to communicate, get aligned, and I know I've said it a lot, but that's what we're looking for, is guys who play fast and aren't thinking about it. They know what their assignment is and they can execute.
And then how do you balance like how much the number ones play and then who they play with, and is half ones and half twos, and try to get that flow in? And is it a little bit more challenging because obviously you don't have a roster that big in the regular season to ensure that you try to, like, do you have a certain amount of sets, reps that you want certain guys to get? Do you have it charted out? How does that work with so many bodies?
Yeah, our job is as coaches is to make sure we give our player personnel a fair evaluation of the players, and that's on our minds, and making sure that we have competitions everywhere, and making sure if there is a competition that there's even reps and there's even opportunity, because those guys deserve it and our fans deserve it. This organization deserves it. You got to have a fair evaluation, and that's what we're focused on.
So that'll happen tomorrow night for the Edmonton Elks. They take on the BC Lions. You can watch that game on CFL Plus or stream it if you are interested. That's where it'll be. Quick break. Craig Button will join us next. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit JapaEquipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations. Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacing, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
New at Papa John's, the spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. Delivery or carry-out. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting non-stop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EUL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at EUL.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. EUL.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday rolls through. Gregor, Halley, Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Lotto Max, 10 mil, and 10 extra prizes of $100,000. So get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca, and when you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost, daily specials every day. Some Jays, some NHL, the little OKC Thunder. Check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center, located on the south side of Edmonton, just outside Nisku. And man, it's going to be a rocking later this year when the Gene Simmons Band, yeah, that's right. Of course, the young man from Kiss will be performing his band, a lot of the classics there in an intimate venue. Get your tickets, silenticecenter.com. We are joined by Stanley Cup winner, ace analyst now, and scout for TSN, Craig Button joins us. Butts, how you doing?
Hey, really good. You know, you brought up Kiss and Gene Simmons. I was chuckling. About a week ago, I was at a game. Maybe it was a little longer. But I was at a game, and they were playing some AC/DC. And you know, I was just kind of strumming along, and the kid, I don't know, this kid about 14 years old. He goes, "You know this song?" And I said. And I said, I just kind of laughed, and I said, "Yeah, they played in all the hockey rinks." Like, I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, back in the '70s they started." But it's just funny how perspective is, right?
Oh yeah, he's like, "You know that song?" Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Oh, it's awesome. Hey, now, Craig, are you a guy who do you get really concerned about which way your toilet paper roll goes on in your house?
Oh yeah, I am that guy. I am totally that guy.
I know it.
Yeah, how did you know it? But anyway,
I said Butts is very particular. He's very particular.
So my wife, she's under, I'm over, and so I am fastidious because like if I see it under, I go and switch it. So I asked at a hotel once. I said, "So what is the proper way to place the toilet roll?" And the lady said to me, she goes, "Well, we do it over." And I said, "So is it the right way? Is it the only?" She goes, "Well, we do it because when people come into a hotel, and a lot of times at night when they wake up, we don't want them having to fumble to find the end of the toilet paper roll. So we do it on top and roll it down so they can see it." So that's what I'm going as the right way.
All right. Yeah. Well, I know, hey, we've had people sending us supposedly when paper towel was introduced, they actually had like a tutorial on how to use it. And it said, it came over the top. So, you know, if that's allegedly, that's what the manufacturer said on how to use it. So away you go. All I care about, as long as whoever uses it last, make sure that they restock it. And I don't care. You can come the bottom, you can come the top. as long as there's some on there. That's all that matters to me.
Isn't there a Seinfeld episode about that with Elaine Bennis?
Oh, probably. Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, there is. Yeah.
Seinfeld talked about everything. Jeez, I don't know if I did remember that one, but they did talk about a lot on Seinfeld. I love it. There's
fastidious. So I'm fastidious. So when I'm in a public area or something, I go and I have to go in the washroom and where I may have to use toilet paper, I check to see if there's toilet paper there because I've been caught.
Oh, dude, I try to avoid public at all costs. I'm not.
I do too, but sometimes you can't.
It's true, but like I'll plan it out, man. Like I'm like, no, but that's the worst because then you're hovering and it's it's like a squat workout, so it's a different world. It's a different world then for sure. The Montreal.
But we digress, or do we?
Yes, exactly. The Montreal Canadiens, they were all over the Carolina Hurricanes last night. And, Craig, the Carolina Hurricanes, a great stat Kevin Woodley was telling me, the Hurricanes led the NHL in breakaways allowed, 146. 22 more than any other team in the league. Now, they're considered still a very good defensive team if you look at their high-danger chances against because of, odd man rushes, slot chances, everything else. They're really good there. But breakaways, every team has a weakness, and that was their weakness. And, man, I know they were off, but Montreal exposed their weakness last time in multiple occasions.
Yeah, no question about it, Jason. And because they apply pressure, sometimes you have to say, hey, listen, you know what, we're going to have some breakaways against. And, you understand that, but you try to balance it out and say our strength of applying pressure is going to be acceptable because we're going to get a lot of chances to overwhelm an opponent. And that might be just what you have to give up. It's like the blitz in football, right? Like you might give up the long touchdown, but if you continuously put pressure on the quarterback, you hurry them, you rush them, it becomes a lot more difficult for that quarterback to feel comfortable, number one, and then number two, to be successful. And I think the Carolina Hurricanes, employ a lot of those same type of principles, but you got to give the Montreal Canadiens tremendous amount of credit. What I felt going into this series, Montreal had to find a way to not only handle the pressure of the Carolina Hurricanes, but then to be able to get the Hurricanes on their back heel. Philadelphia and Ottawa, they were not able to do that. Not for any sustained period of time or any period of time where you can build upon it. Montreal did exactly that. And they used that pressure against them. And, I think that, for Carolina, it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments they make. Because they got to make some adjustments. You can't just keep saying, well, we're going to play this way because Montreal can expose you.
Yeah. And like they clearly looked like, the long break had impacted them, Craig. Like their just timing was off. I'm Slavin. Like, obviously I never watched that game in April where he was -5 once, but I'd never seen Slavin all the games played look that just kind of out of sorts defensively, right? Like that's his bread and butter. He's a great defensive defenseman. He rarely makes bad reads, and man, he made multiple last night. It was wild.
Yeah, he had a struggle. There's no question that he struggled in that game, and you're going to have nights where you're not at your very best, and when it becomes striking as somebody of Jacob Slavin's abilities and qualities, when he has it's like, whoa, what happened there? But that's exactly the type of game that you try to exploit if you're the Montreal Canadiens. And certainly he wasn't the only one. Like you said, they're a little bit out of sync. And, sometimes you just say, okay, we got one of those games from one of their top defenders. Let's try to see if we can do it a second time.
Yeah, for sure. And hey, Dobich still made some key saves when needed, but Montreal's got a lot of guys going right now. Demidov had a slow start to the playoffs, but he's really found his stride here. Great breakaway goal last night. Caulfield, Slavkovsky, each scoring 5-on-5. Like Montreal, the difference I feel between Ottawa and Philly is Montreal has the top end skill when they get chances to bury them, whereas I don't think those other teams had them. And so that's something that Carolina is going to have to be leery of, is that, if we're going to give up some chances, we're going to have to limit them because this team's got some finishers.
No question about it. And even the goal by Texier, right? Texier just kind of opens up in that high slot. And, you get him being able to contribute from that spot in the lineup. Alex Newhook's been so good in the playoffs. And certainly, Demidov has been good. And Jake Evans has fit in there really nicely. But you got Texier on the third line scoring. You got Deneau scoring. I mean, Josh Anderson, I think, has been good. I mean, he could have ended that overtime against Buffalo a couple of times, one off the post. They're dangerous. And when you start to look at their team and you start to say, okay, 13, 14, and 20, which is their top line, start to get their looks and not only get their looks, but now start to finish on their looks. It's one thing when you say, okay, we got them shut down, let's worry about this. Well, now you got everybody scoring. Now you're starting to look at a multifaceted attack that you're talking, okay, it's like putting your finger in the dike. Okay, here's where do we plug first? And that's what Montreal has right now. They have a multifaceted attack, and they sprang some holes in the Carolina defense.
Craig Button joins us. And Craig, Vegas, hey, Carter Hart was very good. Vegas got the goal scorers from the two guys that are carrying them right now offensively in goals anyway, in Dorofeev and Howden. And, no Makar again tonight. No Mark Stone for Vegas, but, Vegas has played without Stone way more than Colorado has played without Makar, not only in this playoffs, but just over the last few years. He's a guy who's, got more injury history. I didn't hate Colorado's game in game one by any stretch of the imagination, but they're going to have to find a way to be better than they were in game one. Where do you see them in the areas they need to improve tonight?
A couple of places I'll start. I agree with you. I thought Carter Hart was very, very good. I thought Colorado had some really good chances and some really good opportunities. And Carter looked really calm, cool, collected in that net and made some really good saves. And obviously that's what you need from your goaltender. So with that being said, I think that Colorado has to find I think there's two areas in terms of the goaltending. They got to find a way to create more distractions for him around that net. And they also have to create opportunities for second chances where they can really get in there and, hound those second pucks, find some rebounds and do that. The other area that I think they have to understand is that, and this is where I see a real weakness in Vegas, is the bottom pair defense. And when you're on home ice, and Jared Bednar's a terrific coach, I think he's got to go right to Brock Nelson and say, Brock, I'm getting you out there as much as I can against their bottom pair defense. Their top pair is going to play against McKinnon. We know that, right? But I'm going to try to get Brock out there against the bottom pair defense, and Brock Nelson's got to be better. Brock Nelson's going to have to find a way to get the edge, because if I'm the coach and I'm going to say I'm going to do everything I can to get you out there, you got to take advantage. So those are the more was the general area around the net, around Carter Hart, to create some disruption, distractions, some pucks. And then Brock Nelson, to me, he's going to get an opportunity to go against the bottom pair defense. You better take advantage, because that can be the difference in this game too.
Craig, I don't know if you saw the interview with Brendan Dillon. I thought it was a really good interview on the.
I did see it. Yeah, I had to look at it based on what he said. I had to go look at it.
Yeah, and I've always liked Brendan Dillon. He's a very honest, straight shooter guy. And, he basically just said, I want to get the exact quote that he used, because it was, he basically said, hey, it's hard enough to win in the NHL when you're healthy and when you're going right. But when you've got distractions in your own room, it's really difficult to win. And, basically, it's hard enough to win in this league when you're healthy and when you are trying to beat the other team. We hope to get those sorted out. And he talked a little bit about how, he had guys that were, on the defense, worried about who they're playing with and different things like that. Like that was a pretty honest answer from him.
Yeah, he talked about the elephants in the room, right? Yeah. And he said you have to deal with it, because an elephant is not going to be subtle. It's a big animal, and what he's talking about are some issues that are significant, and you have to address them. And he talked about it. He said that as players, as leaders, as coaches, we have to deal with that. And you're right, it was honest. But I love the honesty. I like when players are ready to say, hey, listen, this is how we got to be better. And, when you have the credibility that Brendan Dillon has, and he's not singling out anybody. He's using it collectively, and how you have to be better as individuals to be better as a team. I think that has to hold some significant weight. Now, I'm going to be really straightforward here. I think that's a problem that Sheldon Keefe has had. I think he had it in Toronto. And, I think that, and you have to you have to deal with your problems. If you don't, problems that go away by themselves come back by themselves. And I think that, based on former players, some different comments I've heard over the years about how things were handled in Toronto, I think this is rearing its ugly head again with Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah, well, fair point, right? Like that, I wonder how much of that, because, it was interesting that the trade request from Nemec came out the day after that New Jersey announced that, they were retaining their head coach. And so clearly, hey, feels like, hey, maybe the coach doesn't like me. Wouldn't be the first time. Coaches like GMs, like fans, like media, everybody has a bias. They like a certain player or they don't like a player. That happens. But, the timing wasn't lost on me, Craig. And I figure out, like in New Jersey, they got a little internal house, not cleaning, but they got to fix up their internal house a little bit.
I don't know if you saw, Lou Lamoriello did an interview earlier in the week or last week. I forget exactly when it was. It was really good. Lou was phenomenal in my view. And he was asked, the conversation came up about what do you do with players that, might not, might be a little disgruntled, might not feel good. Anybody that didn't want to be here, we got rid of them quickly. You know what the New Jersey Devils have to do? Steven Nemec, you're out of here. I wouldn't tolerate it 1 second. You want out? Yeah. Good. Let's go. You're out. You know what? You can't have it. And I go back to Sheldon and, think about when Sheldon criticizes, talked about Mitch Marner, and the next day he had to walk it back. When you're a coach and you got to make hard decisions, you better stand by them.
Yep.
And I'm not so sure he can make them. I'll be straightforward with you. And I think Brendan Dillon talked about it. And again, Simon Nemec, Sonny Meta is the new manager there. Hey, Simon, tell you what, we're going to work really, really hard to get your ass out of here because you don't want to be here. Guess what? We don't want you here. And I don't care if you're the second overall pick or not. You're out of here.
Yeah, I agree. The minute you allow the players to have that much power, it's not great. So, now at the same time, you're the new GM. You might want to ask around. Now, I saw in the report, it said, well, the GM hadn't reached out to him yet. And I'm kind of like, well, it's May. Like, I don't know, if you're a young guy under contract, you're an RFA, why do you have to start talking right away? You probably got some other things. There's no urgency. You can talk in June, right?
Yeah, absolutely you can. And again, Sonny went in, he made a decision that Sheldon was going to stay, and he feels comfortable with that decision. Okay, that's great. And now you get the next part of it. Well, the next part, again, I'm not trying to make it simple. I'm not saying it's easy. Don't misconstrue that. But at the same time, you cannot function, to Brendan Dillon's point, when you got to start working to beat your own team first. As Ken Holland said, you got no chance to beat anybody else.
Craig Button joined. So, Craig, how patient would you be if you're there's no rush to have to hire a coach right away, but how patient would you be if you were Stan Bowman, if you really think that Cassidy's your guy? At what point would you move on?
Well, I think that let me start with the overall premise. If you've identified somebody that you think is the best fit for yourself, let it play out. Let it play out. Don't rush into something where you might be regretting not being patient. The next game that is going to be played by the Edmonton Oilers is going to come sometime in September when they're playing a preseason game. One of only 4, thank God.
Yes.
Anyway, I digress. That's the next time you need a coach. I often listen and I hear this about things. I work in organizations where, coaches were included, but you know what? You wanted to hear what their thoughts were, but they were not the ones driving it. So when I hear, wow, you want a coach in place for free agency? I don't know if I need a coach there in place for free agency. I need a coach there when we're going to start playing games and when training camp begins. And, I don't need a coach there for the draft or whatnot, right? And so I think if you've identified that guy, that person that you think can be a real good bench boss and somebody that you believe in, be patient. There's no need to rush something, because for the Edmonton Oilers, this isn't about just getting a coach. This is about getting a coach that can come in, pretty significant change with Chris Knobloch going out, that comes in and can get this team back to the level that others think that they can get to. And I still think, Jason, that there's work for management to do to get this team better, not just a coach to come in and get it and manage the team from an on-ice perspective.
Oh yeah, it's not just on the coach. I would agree wholeheartedly with that one. And here's the other truth, Greg. Like, I know you don't have permission to interview the coach, but let's be honest here. Like, how are they monitoring every source of communication? If you really feel like, hey, we'll wait until September to hire the coach and whatever, because you know what? You can always find ways to have a conversation. Hey, yeah, I just ran into him on the beach. Oh, I just called him up. We're good friends. We're allowed to talk. So I'm not foolish enough to ever think that, Stan Bowman, maybe Stan Bowman's wife and Bruce Cassidy's wife are really good friends. Maybe they just want to have a conversation in the offseason. Wouldn't be the first.
Well, I mean, there's different ways to be able to express your interest and carry forth, and you don't have to circumvent the rules, but there's ways to express your interest, and there's ways to let people know that hey, listen, I'd be interested. I mean, Bruce has an agent, right? Yeah. And all you got to do is say to the agent, hey, listen, like, you know what, we're sitting here. I looked at the coaching pool out there, and guy that won a Stanley Cup very recently. He's been fired. Certainly I would be very, very interested in talking about him if we could be granted permission. Like, that's how you do it. Do it with free agents. Yeah. The agents used to phone you, and there was a game. It wasn't a game. It was just, you do it. The agent would phone and say, how do you feel about a player that scores 40 goals? Do you think he could fit in your team? What would be your interest? Well, we're always looking for a 40-goal scorer. That's something that our team would absolutely benefit from. Those types of players that probably cost you $5 or $6 million. The agent might go, it might be $7. The negotiation's already begun.
Yeah.
But that's how you do it. And anybody that thinks otherwise, I would say that might be the most naive thing you could ever believe.
Yeah, like
after Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, Bruce Cassidy made it very clear of he wants a coach, and he was a genius. He's going to go on a Canadian radio show in Toronto and say, I'd love the opportunity to coach in Canada and bring a Stanley Cup back to a Canadian market. Like, ding, ding, ding. All the Canadian fans like, oh my God, we got to get this guy to coach for us. Like, yes, it was. Trust me, that was. I don't disagree for a second that he thinks it's not true, but it was a very wise thing to say by Bruce Cassidy.
Well, let me just go another step here. Bruce Cassidy has coached Connor McDavid at the Four Nations and at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, Connor has a relationship with him, and I'm not suggesting anything. I don't know anything. But if Connor just says, "Hey, Bruce, how you doing? Like, I hope you're doing okay." Yes. Right? Like, there's so many different avenues to do it. Like you talked about Stan's wife. Well, the world's best hockey player has a relationship with Bruce Cassidy.
Yes, for sure. I think ultimately, if that's the guy they want, whether it's in June, July, August, unless Vegas just says no throughout the entire summer, I think ultimately this is a relationship that at some point will come together.
Yeah, and let me be very clear on it. I think Bruce is an excellent coach. I think Bruce would be an excellent fit for the Edmonton Oilers, and we'll leave it at that. Again, we agree, and I think I don't think it's just about me and you agreeing or others. I think that Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman know that they have work to do to improve the roster. So, but Bruce Cassidy, to me, he's such a good coach, and I think that he would benefit the Oilers in a significant way.
And lastly, Memorial Cup gets going tonight. Everett and Kelowna representing the West. You got Kingston. You got Chicoutimi. Who do you like and why?
Kitchener, not Kingston. Kitchener.
Oh, yeah. Did I say Kingston?
Yeah, no worries. No, I knew what you were saying. I like Everett. And why do I like Everett? I think they're the deepest team here. You watch from the goaltender to the defense to the forward group. They lost 2 games in the entire Western Hockey League playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, I know it's 1 games, and I know that it's not a series, but watching Kitchener, good team. Chicoutimi, good team. Kelowna has been a competitive team. I love what they did here. and getting their team to a competitive point. But I think Everett is the best team, and I would put them as the favorite. And I'm not going to say it's a huge favorite, but they're a complete team. They're a dynamic team, and that's who I would have as my pre-Memorial Cup tournament favorite.
Awesome. Are you there at the Memorial Cup, Craig?
I am.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. So you calling the game tonight?
Frankie Corrado's calling the game alongside Dustin Nielsen, your buddy.
All right. Good for that.
Yeah, Dustin is doing it, and Laura Dykin, Jeff O'Neill, and me will be on the panel.
Oh, all right.
Providing superb insights.
Yeah.
Pre-game and between periods.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, we look forward to it. Should be fun. I'll tell you, that Everett team, man. We had Steve Hamilton on, and he was so complimentary about Landon DuPont and what type of player he's going to be, man. Like, he is a special player to watch.
Let me tell you a little quick story here. So I was exchanging notes with Ken Hitchcock yesterday, and he asked me, who's better, Quinn Hughes or Lane Hudson? And I said, I give Quinn a little edge now, but Lane's right on his heels. And I said, when you watch Quinn, and he does so many things with his legs. I mean, he's a smart player and everything, but he does so many things with his legs. Lane, obviously a good skater, but different than Quinn, but he does so many things with his head.
Yeah.
I think Landon's a combination of both those guys. I think he does so many things with his legs and so many things with his head. So, we might be talking about Landon Hudson, or it could be Quinn DuPont. I really see I see a blend of those two guys in Landon DuPont.
Yeah.
He was an outstanding player as a 15-year-old, at times dominant, 16 dominant. He doesn't turn 17 until next week. I think he'll be dominant at this tournament. He's that good.
Yeah, no, he's really good. Look forward to it. Craig, always great to talk to you, man. Have an awesome weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Jason.
There goes Craig Butt from TSN. Over the top toilet roll guy. Quick break. We'll come back. 5 questions and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Day or night, sing just right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
May brings more of what you're looking for at Wolf GMC Buick. The selection, never better. The savings up to $12,000 when you combine cash discounts on your new 2026 Sierra 1500 pickup. Up to $1,750 in cash rebates on remaining 2025 Terrain SUVs. Plus 0% financing up to 72 months on most models. And ask about the truck trade-in bonus of up to $1,500 on select new in-stock Sierra 1500s.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
For a plumber who does whatever it takes, Mr. Rooter.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athletic Care offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health, right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
4:54 on a Friday afternoon. You got a few minutes left, and boom, your weekend begins. It's a short week. We love it. Thank you very much, Victoria Day. We all celebrate just for you. Now, heading into the weekend, let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. As The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. The Shack-O-Pedic memory foam for exceptional comfort. Get it now at thebrickandthebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1, looking at the Stanley Cup playoffs. Who is more likely to make the comeback in their series despite falling down 1 game to none, the Avs or the Hurricanes?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, God. Well, I'm going to say the Hurricanes because they're healthy. And Cale Makar is not, as of right now.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the old narrative, 3rd round Hurricanes.
Oh, it's not bad.
maybe they just don't have it at this point of the season. I'm hoping they can make it competitive. I think they will, but I'm going to say the Avs find a way to get the win tonight, and then hopefully Cale Makar can return and get them on to the final. Question number 2, who do you have meeting in the Memorial Cup final, and who's your pick to win?
Ooh, meeting in the final, Cons. I like that. I will go with wow. I guess I have to I don't have to, but Everett's in the final for sure. And I will take I'll go Kitchener.
Yeah, I wish I could disagree, but that's what I'm going to go as well. I'll take Everett to win over the Rangers in the final.
Yeah, I think it's the WHL's due. Yeah. Long overdue.
It's about time to get it done. Question number 3. On Monday, we're talking Elks, obviously. Which player, 1 or 2, do you think we'll be talking about the most?
Ooh. McGriff.
All right. I'm going to throw two. Isaiah Knight, like I said earlier, obviously
yeah.
he gets the start at running back. I know that position they're elite at already, but a guy who could be a short yardage guy potentially. And then I'm going to also say Taylor Powell. And it could be for good or for bad. Once Fajardo goes out, we're going to see what they have in the backup quarterback. So I'll say he as well. Question number 4. Who is your pick to win the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend in Montreal?
Go ahead.
Whatever I say here, don't take it with too much. Don't put too much stock in it. I'm not the biggest guy. We maybe should have asked Livingston. I'm going to take a bit of a long shot, I guess. Give me Lando Norris.
No, Norris. All right.
I think I usually would have just said Lewis, but that seems like too much of a long shot these days.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with George Russell.
George Russell, second best odds. Lance Stroll plus 300,000 for
Yeah,
that's feeling dangerous.
That is not happening. Not happening.
Final question.
It'll be a great story, Canadian
yeah.
kid, but I don't. They're really not that competitive.
Would have to be crazy. Final question. I did not know this was a thing till I heard the Duke talk about it earlier this week. No meat May. So some people go the entire month of May without having any animal product.
Why?
I don't know. I guess like dry January, I guess. How long realistically do you think you could
Meat's
go?
not bad for you.
Wait, with how
actually
long?
good for you.
Yeah. But how long do you think you could go without meat? And also, what would you say your favorite meal, food, that is without meat as well?
How long could I go? Not long, because I like meat. Chicken. I eat chicken almost every. Now, are we talking fish too?
I classify that as meat, yes.
Well, I don't think I could go. If I had to, sure, I could go a long time. But would I go longer than a day or two? No. A good mix of fish. Love chicken, pork, beef. I like it all. So no, I'm not. Especially, you know what? To have lots of farm grown animals, get a side of beef, and split a pig with someone. We got a lot of fresh chicken eggs. Like, no chance, man. I don't think I'd go longer than a day. So shout out to all of those who are making a living selling meat. My favorite food without meat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, dessert. But I would say honestly, like, probably like a good like fettuccine Alfredo, good penne, some good pasta. That'd probably be like a food. But if we're just going anything, then I'm going dessert all day, every day.
Yeah, like you, I probably wouldn't last too long. Definitely like to get meat in the diet.
I don't see the point. If somebody wants to be a vegan, like, knock their socks off. But like, I have no interest in doing it. So, and don't feel bad about eating meat for 1 second.
Best meatless meal. So the Duke said pierogies were the best option.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's a good pick. But
solid pick.
I'd probably just go a cheese pizza. No, not entirely vegan, but I love cheese pizza. So
really, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't get into just a cheese. I feel like I'm like, this is pointless. I never just eat a cheese pizza. If I'm gonna have pizza, it's gotta have some toppings on it. The hell am I doing if it doesn't have toppings on it? So I can't do it.
That's fair. I know it's not for everyone. Most people grow out of it. I occasionally will still dabble, although given the option, of course, we're going pep and bacon.
Well, yeah. Who doesn't? It's a great option. I like it. So, what like now? I guess like Greek yogurt. Big fan of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love Greek yogurt. So
you could do it like you said, tons of pasta.
Yeah, like I could go without meat if I had to. I just choose not to. I enjoy it. I think it's good. A lot of good benefits to it. So I'm not a T-Rex, but I'm a meat eater for sure. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Where this weekend? Oh, it's a nice day out. Maybe this is where you want. I actually was just in there talking to Mike today, and they had this like yellow Corvette. God, it looked unreal. And there was a guy actually who had just purchased a blue one who was leaving as I rolled in to visit with Mike. So if you're looking for a bed, man, now's the time. Convertible. You want to drive, get the hair blown in the wind. Whew. Bets, great deals right now. NorthgateGM.com.
This is a sports 1440 update.
Game 2 of the Western Conference Final goes tonight from Denver, Colorado. Avs and Golden Knights fucked up just after 6, with Vegas leading that series 1-0. Obviously, Colorado without Cale Makar, no Mark Stone for the Golden Knights. At the World Hockey Championship, Canada got past Slovenia 3-1 earlier today. They'll be back in action on Sunday, taking on Slovakia in the Association. Thunder Spurs, Game 3 from San Antonio. Series tied at a game apiece. Tip-off at 6:30. Major League Baseball, the Jays kicking off the series against the Pirates. First pitch in about 5 minutes' time. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, Phillies, Guardians, Mets taking on the Marlins. Orioles get Detroit. The Dodgers in Milwaukee. Mariners traveling to Kansas City, and the Padres host the Athletics. Earlier today, Cubbies falling at home to the Astros 4-2, and one game postponed due to rain. Cincinnati and St. Louis, they'll make that one up tomorrow. At the Memorial Cup in Kelowna, host Rockets taking on OHL champion Kitchener Rangers in about an hour. In the CFL preseason tonight, Ottawa in Montreal. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, plus Alan Mitchell from the Lowdown Photide, and we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Oodle Noodle Origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Welcome back to Nissan Head to Head. Today, we've got Nissan Kicks coming in strong as a leader in fuel efficiency for gas-only CUVs. Some of the other guys respond with a wallet-breaking detour to the pumps. Hats off to Nissan's fuel-efficient Japanese engineering.
Right now, finance a Nissan Kicks for 0% for 36 months. Visit nissan.ca for details. Conditions apply.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, you made it through, boys and girls. Another work week. If you're an 8 to 5er, is over. Punch out and punch into the weekend. Hope you got big plans, whatever you're doing. Maybe just relaxing. Maybe doing some yard work. Maybe you're like, no, I've already done the yard work. I'm just going to sit back. Maybe it's a fire pit night. Who knows? Whatever it is, enjoy it and have a great weekend. It's a Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. You can get in on some Jays, some Avs, and Golden Knights, as well as a little OKC Thunder for you. So check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. Daily odds boost, give you a little bit better odds. Good luck. It's time now to get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists who are hiring. If you're looking for a great opportunity, pipe layer, operator, or top man, they got it all. Check it out, GS Construction. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, good afternoon, my man. How you doing?
Oh, having a great day, Jim. Painting with Shelka. It's a painting day. You know how guys love that. That's a fun day, man.
Painting's the worst. Like, unless you're a painter, I think painting's the worst.
Yeah, it's I'm not a painter. How about if I just say that?
No, dude, no. I remember once having to repaint the whole study at our old farmhouse, including the ceiling. Biting my shoulders and never sore in my life. And I'm like, and I just hated it. I don't find it fun or enjoyable at all. Like I'll go outside, I'll pick rocks for hours over painting. And anybody who picks rocks knows that can be somewhat tedious of a job. But I would much rather pick rocks for hours on end than paint.
Yeah, I'm not saying I hate it, but we're taking off a bunch of casings and baseboards, and that's the crappy part. Once you actually start applying paint after you've fixed all the holes, and you never realize, like, you look at a wall and you go, it's just a wall. Then you go to paint it, you look at it, you go, oh, there's a hole there. Oh, there's another hole there. Oh man, there's another hole there. Like, I don't know. Does anyone notice when you fix all those? You ever walk into someone's house, Jay, and go, hey, that guy's wall's head?
Well, I will say when there's a new paint job, you definitely notice, oh, geez, you guys painted the house. Looks good. So I can see why people do it. It's, there's a reward at the end of the day, but
yeah, I can see why people pay other people to do it, actually.
Dude, honestly, I know a painter by name. That's how much I despise it. And it's worth the money every time I paid Sterling to paint places because I'm like, I'm out. Met him about 14 years ago, and that guy is speed dial. Sterling the painter. That's what it says in the phone. He's that.
I'll send him my way, brother.
Yeah. Hey, I'll say this. The Carolina Hurricanes had a few holes in their defensive wall last night. And Montreal just kept busting through them.
Yeah, and it was so crazy because of all the things, I've said it on the show a million times, I never saw a more structured, organized team this season than Carolina all year long. They win their 8 games in a row, not allowing any goals there. Like, they just didn't have a hole in their armor. And then Montreal scores 4 in the first period, and they're going in left, right, and center. And, Rod Brindamore said after the game, man, let's just forget. Let's throw this one in the garbage. They played about, I don't know, what would you say? Were they, did Carolina hit 40% last night, as good as they can play? I'm not sure they did. So good for Montreal. They ripped one off at the start. Now it's a series already.
Yeah, it is. And hey, Carolina, I get that they were tired and not tired, but rusty and all that. But the one element of their game that Montreal exposed was their one weakness all year long. They gave it the most breakaways in the NHL at 146. 22 more than any other team. And they were still, one of the top 3 teams in high danger chances again. So they didn't give up odd man rushes. They don't give up a lot of, slot passes. But breakaways, that was their kryptonite. Every team, even good teams, have a weakness, and that's theirs. And Montreal exposed it. And the difference is the Habs offensive guys are better finishers than Philly had, better finishers than Ottawa had. And so it's going to be some adjustment, I would think, by Carolina. Now, for Carolina, it says, hey, if we pressure more, we don't allow teams to do it, because that's the one thing we didn't see last night. You didn't see that endless, relentless pressure from Carolina.
Yeah, they do. They're a team that can pin you for a long time, and then they get the change and you don't, and they tend to capitalize. So, you know what? I don't want to take anything from Montreal. They walked into a tough building and won, very decisively last night. Good for them. They're up 1-0. They say a series never starts till a road team wins a game. Well, we're going already. But I don't think any of us are going to say Montreal's beaten Carolina at their best. So pretty quick here, Carolina's going to find their game. They're going to bring that game that won 8 in a row, that Ottawa couldn't handle, that Philly couldn't handle. And I'll tell you right now, if Montreal can handle it, they're going to go to the Stanley Cup final. And I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. It is, that would be fun if they do it. And now, hey, we'll see. Vegas tonight, no Cale Makar again in game 2. Colorado. Now, no Mark Stone too. And, Colorado's looking, I don't think they're going to panic, just like I don't think Carolina's going to panic. It's one game. Like, remember, the Oilers lost game 1 of the Western Conference final last year and then won 4 straight over Dallas. So, one game, I'm not ready to say, oh my God, Vegas is winning and Montreal's winning. But both of those underdogs have gained some traction. And tonight's a huge game for Colorado. Like, it borders on, I know it's super early in a season, series, but this borders bordering on like as close as you can get to must win without needing a must win.
Yeah, I don't know what the stat is, and I'm sure it'll come out if at some point in the broadcast tonight. I don't know what the stat is that teams that win the first 2 games on the road, what percentage of series do they win, Jay? But I'll bet you it starts with like an 8, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you go on the road and win the first 2 games of the series, then you come home for 3. Generally, that series you're going to win it. So you're right. It's not must win, but it's both Carolina and Colorado. We got to pull it up here. They can't get swept. You can't get swept in your home ice first 2 games, man. You got to, you're right. I guess it's not must win, but it sure feels that way for both those teams, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. No question. It is one where I look and say, hey, they gotta be better tonight. And they weren't awful, right? They got 38 shots. There's lots I think they liked about their game. Like, their speed was still the one element that Vegas struggled with, right? Like, Colorado's the fastest team in the NHL. And that's how they're going to beat Vegas, because they're a much quicker team. And then you just got to bury their chances. That's what they're going to have to do. Yeah.
And Carter Hart has, he was up and down. His game wasn't that consistent when he wasn't, when he was playing this year, when he wasn't hurt. It's taken him a while to get going. He's found some consistency here. He's found some consistency. He's starting to bring the same game every night. And that's something, right? That's something Vegas needs. So I would suggest Colorado wants to poke some holes in that goalie early here tonight.
Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, where did it come out on the WHL and the fact they haven't won a Memorial Cup since 2014? Everett and Kelowna, they got 2 of the 4 teams in it this weekend. It starts tonight. You can watch the games on TSN. And I look at Everett. They got a great team. Steve Hamilton, of course, was an assistant coach the last time the WHL won with the Edmonton Oil Kings in 2014. There's obviously got to be some pride as a league that they're probably getting sick of talking about the fact that they haven't won it since 2014.
I mean, it's weird. It's in a way, it's like Canadian teams not winning the Stanley Cup. I mean, there's no real rhyme or reason. Why would every 3rd year the WHL has half the field, right? So, I mean, do I have a reason for you? I don't have a reason for you. The junior, like the Memorial Cup's always kind of weird because you play 4 rounds. It's like the 5th round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically for these teams. And it's, I would think that after you win your league, it's, I don't know, it's got to be difficult to keep her up and get going for a 5th round, but everyone's in the same boat. So, I don't listen, pal. I don't have an answer for you. That's a long time when there's only 3 leagues for one league not to have won it. I got no answer for you. They got half the field a 50% chance this year. I don't see how that streak gets that much longer. Can you?
Well, we'd hope not. But hey, Kitchener's pretty good, so we'll see. Spec, you asked the question about what happens at a team in the NHL playoffs when you're leading 2-0 starting on the road. Yeah. They've won 91 series and lost 22. So pretty good.
91 and 22. So they've won just 90 out of
just under 81%.
I was just going to say, so it did start with an 8.
Yeah.
So there you go, 80% of the time. So those are big games, man. Those are big games coming up here. And you get this close to the cup, all of a sudden, like it's a cliche. Every game means a lot. But when you're this close to Stanley Cup final, man, we've been there in Edmonton the last 2 years. The folks in Montreal, there won't be a lot of traffic in the street tomorrow night when they're playing game 2 in Carolina. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no, Edmonton fans know about it. Like, everybody gets together. Like, Oilers fans know. The last few years, you're just like, okay, what are we doing? We're having viewing parties. Some are going to the game. It's a road game where we watch it. And, your neighbors, fan. All of a sudden, people are like, hey, man, everybody's an Oilers fan, which is great. Right. And Montreal will be no different. Be loud.
Some of the young guys out there are still paying off their credit cards from those 2 runs, I think.
Very, very possible. Very possible. Pretty slow Julys for some people here. Hey, go for a walk this weekend. So we'll see where that goes. The green and gold, the Edmonton Elks. Talking about a team that I know now it's only preseason, so obviously the results aren't going to matter that much, but the process is there. We're going to see the starting units. A lot of the players now. Rankin isn't going as a running back, but their O-line's going. Their quarterback's going to play a bit. Receivers. Lots of defensive starters are going, not 100%, but lots, way more than the last few years for Edmonton. And considering the Elks the last 4 years, Spec, have started 0-3, 0-9, 0-7, 0-3. They haven't won their first game of the year since 2019. They ended up being 8-10 that season. So it's been they haven't had a winning season since 2017. They were 9-9 in 2018. Like, this is
10 years.
You got to build some momentum here for this team. And I know it's only a preseason game, but something tells me that, Mark Killam, their whole focus is, we need a good start. We need a good start. That they're going to take every snap a little bit more serious than maybe they have in the past. They can't afford to waste opportunities.
Yeah, they can't afford to have another one of these starts, another and whatever. They need some relevance. They've, I listened to Chris Morris on your show. Was it 2 days ago, I think?
Yeah.
Very interesting. I got a ton of respect for Chris. I really do. I think he's a good man and but I'd say to you, he went to the U of A. He absolutely transformed that program. But in the end, they still had a lot of bad seasons before they got good, and they never did quite win it all. They never did quite win. And it's not for not trying. It's not for not being organized. It's not for Chris not being an excellent leader. But you can do all those things, and that sometimes the dice doesn't fall your way. So I'd say to you that the Elks, it sounds to me, and listening to Chris and for what I hear around town, they've really cleaned up their organization. They're like, I heard him talk about how partners can, when we say we're going to deliver something, we deliver it, and it wasn't always the way, and it has to start there. But at some point, Jason, it also has to happen on the field.
Oh yeah.
I don't care that much about the bills they pay and the friends they make and all that stuff. If I'm a football fan and they're 0-5, I turn the page. So they got to win some games, and I think they're doing all the right things. But in the end, that's football's about a scoreboard, pal. That's why we keep score, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Like Fajardo we had earlier on the show, and he mentioned, hey, on paper, I think we're a really good team, but you got to see when the lights are on how you play and ultimately how you execute at crunch time. And they've improved their team. Their offensive line is way better. Their D-line looks good. They've got more experience in the secondary line everywhere in the field. That's all good news. But now you got to put it together, right? Their coaching staff's another year together. I do think that's important. No question. Yes. And we'll kind of see, where they go from here. But it is they need to be a lot better. Starting out of the gate, like that June 6th game, Spec, in 2 weeks is One of the biggest games for the organization, arguably maybe the biggest game in Elks franchise history, the need to just get off to a good start.
Did they start at home?
No, they're on the road in Ottawa.
In Ottawa, okay. I mean, I listened to Dave Naylor on your show the other day as well, and he really sounded like the Elks are one of the ascending teams in the CFL. So, hey, man, let's hope for the best. There's nothing like a night down at Commonwealth watching football. It's always a better night when you got a competitive team that might win a football game. It's been a long haul down there, man. I know it's been a long haul. That organization deserves some success. Let's hope they get it.
Spec, enjoy the weekend, enjoy painting, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
All right, thanks, man.
There you go. It's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. LT will join us. You got Cam Tate and more on a busy Friday afternoon. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
For Arcelli hockey fans, your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaka-beaded memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC.
No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Your next great family adventure is just a raffle ticket away. Enter the Alberta Foster and Kinship Association's Great Family Adventure Raffle for your chance to win incredible prizes, including the first prize, a Sea-Doo pontoon cruise boat worth over $70,000. Every ticket sold helps provide vital resources to the everyday heroes raising children through some of life's hardest circumstances. Buy your tickets before the live draw on June 5th. Get yours at rafflebox.ca/raffle/the Great Family Adventure Raffle. License number 766115. Open to Alberta residents 18 plus only.
Running a business is tough. Finding new customers shouldn't be. Stop chasing leads. Let them come to you with Stingray, offering you access to more digital, outdoor, and traditional advertising platforms, including radio, connected TV, search and social, programmatic, digital advertising, and digital out-of-home. So while you're closing the next deal, Stingray is working for you to deliver more leads, more customers, more sales. It's that easy. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and always be closing.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Horses of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Well, positive Friday to you. Thanks for listening. As always, we appreciate it. It's the Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Twitch. Hey, anywhere. Thanks for listening. I know many of you streaming it on TuneIn. It's awesome. And maybe if you're just listening on the podcast later on, we appreciate it. It's always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game tonight. Lots of action. And, of course, Lotto Max, $10 million. And we got OKC and the Spurs. We got a little NHL parlays for you. You can check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. As it is time to get to the oil report, brought to you by Go Auto. Not only do they sell great vehicles, they care about the communities they're in. They have donated over $27 million helping out charitable causes and giving back to the community. It's pretty awesome at goauto.ca. As we are joined by the host of the Lowdown, Alan Mitchell. LT, how you doing?
I'm very well. A beautiful day, just absolutely gorgeous. There's nothing like a sunny Alberta day, and we've got many to come. And maybe even some on the weekend, which is nice.
Yes, that's 24 degrees tomorrow, Al. Should be good. I know you're a huge CFL guy. What do you make of the green and gold this year, and just the importance to get back to being a relevant franchise?
I think that's a great word, relevant. You know, my lifetime has been there were times during the late 70s, early 80s where both were champions, and this whole city kind of riffed off of both franchises, both the Eskimos and the Edmonton Oilers. And I know the world has changed. I know the CFL is different, the NHL is different, but in other CFL cities like in Regina and Winnipeg, there's a real sense of community, and there's a football population that's very large. I know it's here. I got friends who are, they are ready to roll. They've been through, the COVID, the clear bag, the poor play, the hiring a coach, and then, having to hire a new coach and all of that stuff. But they're ready to roll. Now, what has to happen is this team has to be very competitive and win enough games to get people excited. I think they will, but I'm really just waiting to see it. And we get started this weekend, which is outstanding. I can't wait.
Yeah, they should be good. Now, the West, Saskatchewan's good. Winnipeg should be good. BC, I think, will be very good with Rourke. Calgary got off to a great start last year. Can they match it again? We'll see. But, it's going to be very competitive. The West is always competitive. And Edmonton's just got to find a way to win some games early, stay in the hunt, hopefully build some momentum, and ideally you stay healthy. And then we'll go from there. Cody Fajardo is going to have to be – and I had Cody on the show earlier today, and he talked about the one thing for him is – he wants to be more aggressive in throwing the ball downfield, and that's what I'm going to be watching for.
Yeah, and it's like, when you were on the show, either this Monday or last Monday, you were, talking about he's going to have to throw into coverage successfully and throw it downfield, and to be able to do it consistently. It's a tough league. It's a big field. There's a lot of aggressive ball hawks, but you have to move the ball, and other clubs are able to do it. This team has to be able to do it. And it's not like there's somebody breathing down his neck or whatever. So Fajardo's been a great, very fine quarterback for a long time. So I don't think it's an issue, but you've got to overcome the things that are challenges to him as an organization. And we'll see how it goes. This is such a big year, man. It seems like it's early, but it's late. Like I've been waiting we're a long time, and it's only May, but I can't wait to get going.
The Montreal Canadiens, is it a one-off Carolina just rusty playing bad, or are the Canadiens maybe better than we think, and this is just the another edition of the third-round Hurricanes?
Well, I think you have to give credit to Carolina. They would be rusty for sure, but the other side of it is that I think we all agree that would be like a period and a half at the most. And Montreal just, there was a period in that game where you could kind of feel it. Carolina scores that second goal, they get a third one, maybe, but it didn't happen. Montreal just kept pushing, and the forecheck they were able to overcome. They're very mobile. They're smart passes. They can take a pass and make a pass. And so I think Montreal is a very good team, and they're ahead of the game. Like, they're ahead of whatever winning cycle they were supposed to have. But I still think Carolina wins this thing, but we'll find out a lot about this series in game 2, because Carolina's going to be a lot better, and Montreal can play a lot worse and still win the game. Yeah, well, that's a challenge. Then tonight, the Colorado game, I'm very intrigued. I didn't mind how Colorado played in game 1. Vegas had the better goaltender, which was key. Cale Makar, I think at times, obviously they're going to miss him, but good teams are able to overcome it for a game or two. But the longer he stays out, Al, this just becomes much more advantageous for Vegas. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we were talking about one of the 5 best players in the league, and a unique player. Like, Cale Makar does things that other players can't do, and he does them at pace. So it's a big loss, and you're kind of counting on, like, I thought going in, I said, if Vegas gets goaltending, they could be tough. Well, they got goaltending. And so it could be a fleeting thing. Maybe it doesn't happen every game, but Vegas Golden Knights are deep and they're strong, and they've got wicked smart hockey players. And so they're a load, no doubt about it. They are an absolute load. And Colorado you have to start winning hockey games, because you don't want to get behind. I know it's a long series, but not really. So they got to win game 2. Both of the favorite teams are behind. They've both got to win game 2, I think. You don't want to go down 2-0, and then everybody's starting to talk about what you aren't able to do. It could get late in a hurry for Colorado. And as you say, Makar is like, he is such a big part of that team. The longer he's not in the series, the bigger an impact it'll have. Yes, Al Mitchell joins us here on Sports 1440. Al, the fun part about the offseason this year is going to be a team like the St. Louis Blues. And we know they did trade Parayko. He just didn't agree to the trade. So, they were that. You can't get much closer than, and I do believe wholeheartedly that the organization wanted that out there. So maybe he would succumb to the pressure. He didn't. He's like, no. I have a no movement clause. I'll move when I want to move. And that's within his right. No problem with it. But you look at that team and all the rumors of Thomas and Kyrou, and now there's Binnington 1 year left in his deal, and teams are always looking for goaltenders. How aggressive, how big of moves do you think we're going to see from the Blues this offseason? Well, they potentially it could be a lot, because they have really attractive players. Like those you just mentioned, some players that are a lot of NHL teams are going to be looking for, or at least interested in, and it'll depend on the price tag. And obviously there's cap monies that have to be moved around, but there's a little more leeway, a little more room for some teams in terms of taking on more money this year. So I think the Blues are, if you are dismantling, then veterans' interest becomes less each time you make a move. So I think they could be a big player, because their players that they have to trade are legit. Like we're talking about players who could go to a new city and help their team, their new team, win a Stanley Cup. So if they're contemplating moving a couple or more of those names that you just mentioned, that's a huge summer. And they're reloading, but those players are going to bring back a lot in return for their future, and they're really good players. I mean, you can imagine a couple of those guys on the Oilers and doing really well. Al, have yourself a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. What's the Al and Mitchell TV viewing sports schedule like this weekend? Like, what's your priorities? Well, I've got baseball on now. There's hockey coming up. There's football. There's all kinds of things. What I want to do is this is my thing, is I want to get the stuff that I have to get done, and then I can watch all the sports I want. And sometimes that's a little difficult, Jason, as one ages, because you've got a long list of stuff and it's got to get done. But I'll have the TV on most of the weekend watching, because it's like there's so much sports on. Oh my God, this is a really great weekend for sports.
Yeah, it's very true. Al, enjoy it. We will chat with you on Monday.
All right, sir. Be good.
There you go. That's Al Mitchell. It's a lowdown brought to you. That was Al Mitchell. That was the oil report brought to you by GoAuto.ca. And when we come back, Cam Tate will get us into the weekend. And we got a lot of texts to wrap up. A busy week, busy show here in Sports 1440. We'll catch up some Oilers, some Elks, some Montreal Canadiens, and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. Hire Good provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, noods. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, noods. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood. Troll down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
To the guy who said, I'll marinate the chicken, then forgot. Hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. We've got you covered with a variety of freshly prepared kebabs, ranging from chicken to beef and pork. They even come pre-marinated, so all that's left is pretending you made it yourself. And they're on sale this week. For more great summer deals, check our flyer at safeway.ca. Variety may vary by store. See flyer for details.
First of this hour brought to you by Cantork. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, we wrap it up. Final segment of the week now. Don't worry, Sports 1440 is going nowhere. We'll have Jay's action at the conclusion of our show. We also have tomorrow morning live sports talk starting at 9 a.m. Cons, what are you guys talking about tomorrow? Josh, man, who's in?
Yeah, it should be Josh Brandon tomorrow. I think Mackenzie's got some other things going on, but yeah, recapping tonight's action and then looking ahead to the day. And then you got Hoop City as well.
Hoop City right after that. So that's great. So check it out 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We got the Jays game right after the conclusion of our show. It's the Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where, man, hey, maybe like a little casino lottery instance. Ooh, they got it all at PlayAlberta.ca. And it's time now for the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. No payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer. LegacyHeating.ca. Now, Cam Tate, of course, born with cerebral palsy. Cam's in a wheelchair. But he's been a reporter for 45 years. Never let him slow him down. It's great inspiration for all of us. And Tater's always wanted to be in radio. And now, through the wonders of technology, his words come to life. And on Friday, Tater asked me to read the 2-minute warning. So here is Cam Tate's words, my voice, in the 2-minute warning. Oh, Gregor, sometimes life hands you a big old plate of temptation. And boy, was I tempted this week. I mean, I appreciate you reading my stuff on Positive Fridays. Thank you for not butchering my coppery, by the way. But I got to wonder, what would you have done if I'd thrown a real curveball at you? Like, say, in my series on potential Edmonton Oilers head coaching candidates, if I just casually dropped the name, wait for it, Mike Babcock. Oh, Babby, wouldn't that have been a spicy meatball? But no, we're not going there. Not today. I'm not here to stir the pot. Well, not that pot. Speaking of drama, though, this whole soap opera with the Vegas Golden Knights refusing to let Bruce Cassidy even sniff a conversation with the Oilers is like watching a daytime drama where everyone's wearing sequins and skates. You know what we need? A proper soap opera name for this saga. As the puck turns, all my coaches, I'll workshop it over the weekend. But let's get serious for a second. I got a name for you. A real proven NHL coach, 2 Stanley Cups under his belt. And here's the kicker. If he comes to Edmonton and wins, he'll be the only coach, other than Scotty Bowman since 1955, to win a cup with more than one team. That's rarer than finding a parking spot at Rogers Place on game night. This guy's got a knack for building good culture wherever he goes. He's like the Bob Ross of hockey, just painting happy little locker rooms. And hey, he's not afraid to pull the pin mid-season either. He's resigned after coaching just 28 games once. That's commitment to uncommitment, folks. So who am I talking about? Drum roll, please. Paul Maurice. Think about it. He knows how electric Edmonton gets during the playoffs. Could he be the guy to bring the cup back to oil country? Or am I just blowing smoke like a Zamboni on overdrive? Let me know, Gregor. Let me know. 2-minute warning, Cam Tate. Well, Cam Tate, I'm not sure if you're blowing smoke, but you might be inhaling some. He's under contract with the Florida Panthers. No go. Zero, zilch, nada. He'll be looking to get his 3rd in 4 years with the Panthers. He is not. I thought we were going to say, when you said 2 cups, I thought he was going to write in Daryl Sutter. I think he's already talked about Sutter as the coaching option. So I think for the Edmonton Oilers, it's going to be Bruce or bust at this point, as in Bruce Cassidy. And I think the Oilers are probably going to play a slow player. I think they'll interview some other guys. Craig Brewery will get an interview. Peter Laviolette will get an interview. And there'll be some others. But I think they'll wait and see here. Now, once Vegas is out, whether it's in the conference finals or when they win or lose the Stanley Cup, maybe then they'll do it. Now, who knows? Maybe they win and then they're like, you know what? We're in such a great mood here. See you later, Bruce. Good luck. If they lose the cup, they might be like, wait, we got to think things over here. We might need some time. So we'll see how it goes. But as I've said, hey, coach is one piece of the puzzle for the Edmonton Oilers. I do not believe that Bruce Cassidy is a miracle worker and he's going to fix all the problems with one, opening salvo to the team at training camp and boom, everything's fixed. Magically, they're just going to be a consistent defensive team game in and game out. Like, that would be wonderful to believe it, but not sure it's that easy. It's going to come from a commitment from your players. Now, as we've discussed numerous times, the fact that Cassidy has coached Connor McDavid twice, Olympics, 4 nations, it does matter. Make no mistake, right? They won one, lost one, and the one they lost, they outplayed them. Everybody knows the McKinnon hits the empty net. They probably win, but they didn't. So, but again, Bruce wasn't the head coach. He was the assistant coach. And when you're the assistant coach, it's just different. You're not going to be as much of the hard ass. You're not going to be, as you're involved, but there's still the head coach, and he's the deciding factor on a lot of things. So, the coach that McDavid experienced at 4 Nations, the Olympics, would not be the coach that he would experience on a day-to-day basis in Edmonton. Not saying that's good or bad. It's just a fact, right? It just is. So I'm curious to see how it all plays out. There's no rush. I think that the bigger question will be what happens in the meantime for the Oilers and their other moves as far as players. We're getting now. You got about a month and a bit to the draft, right? I guess technically it's 5 weeks to the draft, 5 weeks, and then so 40 days, give or take, to the to free agency. And Connor Murphy, Jason Dickinson, Kasperi Kapanen, those would be the main 3. There's a few other guys like Adam Henrique. I'd be surprised if he comes back at this point. You could bring back Max Jones, good depth guy, but you've got Doc, who, left winger, fills at that side. You got Podkolzin, probably got Nugent Hopkins, Ike Howard. All right, like I've been watching Team USA here. Like Isaac Howard, as I watched, even a guy like Dorofeev, he's a shooter. Like Howard's a shooter. And I think he's somebody who'll get a look with McDavid to start the year. It doesn't mean he's going to stay there all year long. It doesn't mean he's going to excel right off the hop. He's still going to be an NHL rookie. Although, actually, no, he won't be because he played 27 games. He won't classify as a rookie. Played 27 games, one too many. So he's not even a rookie next year by the NHL standards. So he would come in, and I think he's somebody that gives you potential. You're playing with Hyman and McDavid, right? Then you got Podkolzin with Draisaitl, and maybe it's Kapanen, maybe it's Manny Savoy. We'll see, right? But he's somebody that brings you an opportunity. That's why you acquired him. And speaking of Howard, the one thing that I'm surprised, a lot of people think, oh man, Ron O'Reilly's player of the year in the Ontario Hockey League. What a brutal trade. I'm like, hey, I love the Ontario Hockey League, but you can't compare Major Junior to a guy being a point-a-game player in the American League. It's just, it's not the same, right? The league is much different, right? Is Sam O'Reilly? I think he could be a good NHL player, but I don't think it's a lock, right? He had a really good year in the OHL. He had 29 goals in 56 games, and he had 71 points. Pretty good numbers, but is 71 points in 56 games compared to a guy who had 50 points in 47 pro games? Honestly. Right? Sam O'Reilly had 29 goals in junior. One guy had 24 goals in the American League. I think it's a little too early to say, oh my God, that was a bad trade for Edmonton. I think some people overreact. You can't just compare a junior season and say it's equivalent to an AHL season. It's just not at all. So, Cons, what are your top 3? What are you watching this weekend?
Oh, top 3. Thunder Spurs. I feel like that's just must-watch television right now. The storyline's going along with it.
2 games this weekend.
2 games. You'll take that all the time. Jays for sure. I want to see Skeens tomorrow, and that's a tough one for the Jays. But maybe it's like his season debut this year, and they get to him. And then I'm gonna have the Elks preseason game. I love that we can watch it online, CFL Plus. So hopefully it doesn't go down. Hopefully it stays up the whole time. But This is a very important season for the team. A chance to right the ship a couple years with a new coach and the GM. So I'm really intrigued to see kind of the depth pieces for the green and gold this season. And those will be my top 3. Maybe your friends and neighbors as well. I think season 2 finale comes out tonight. So we'll probably watch that as well.
Really?
Yeah. It's a good show.
All right.
How about you?
I will say that game 2 of Montreal, Carolina has me intrigued now. The Skeens one for sure. And because I've been there live, I'll be watching the F1 race in Montreal.
Good one.
And, they've been off for a few weeks, or some of the change is going to matter. We'll find out. But there's lots of options, man. Obviously, I'll be watching the Elks game, same as you. Check it out for anybody, because we got a lot of texts. Where do we watch it? Just go to CFL Plus. It's right on the CFL website. I don't think you can. I should go there right now.
You fill out like 5 things, and you have it set up. Super easy.
Oh, you already did it?
Yeah.
Right on. So you go to the CFL.ca and then go to watch?
I believe so. I kind of just clicked around.
Yeah, actually, if you go to where to watch on CFL, then you click CFL Plus, and boom, away you go. So I think I'll be able to stream it right off my TV then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
If you TV can't do that, maybe you get Apple TV or Roku. Is it Roku? Yeah, and then you can.
Yeah. I have it on. I have Roku.
Stream from your phone. Easy.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's you can check that out. So just go to CFLplus.ca. Phil, as Connor said, fill out 5 simple things, and away you go. Should be pretty easy, lemon squeezy. Although I'm on here and maybe these are watched live on the CFL. Okay, so that's a little different. Okay, good. I'm like, let's watch it on CFL Plus for sure. On behalf of Connor Halley, although I'm looking at, here it is, May 23rd. Okay, good. I thought for a second there I didn't see it. Cons was going to freak out, but no.
I just brought it up. It took 2 seconds.
Okay, good. Awesome. Have yourselves a great weekend, everyone. Please don't drink and drive. Don't be inebriated. No weeding, driving. Get home safe. Enjoy all the sports. Enjoy the painting. Enjoy the weeding. Picking rocks for any of you who are rock pickers. Have a lot of fun. Let's get to the Con Man and Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Fountain Tire, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs. With their digital vehicle report, they don't just tell you what your car needs, they'll show you. Book your appointment today, fountaintire.com. Good night.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Game 2, gets going in about 10 minutes time from Denver Avs and Golden Knights. Vegas leading 1-0. No Mark Stone for the road team, home team without Cale Makar. Earlier today at the World Championships, Canada knocked off Slovenia 3-1. They'll be back in action Sunday morning, taking on Slovakia. In the Association, Thunder Spurs Game 3 from San Antonio. Tip-off at 6:30. Series tied at a game apiece. Major League Baseball, the Jays in action, trailing the Pirates 1-0 in the top of the third. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed coming up next. Elsewhere, Red Sox lead the Twins 4-3. Tigers have a 2-0 lead over the Orioles, while the Brewers, Dodgers, Mariners, Royals, Braves, Nationals, all scoreless. Earlier today, Astros over the Cubbies by a score of 4-2. Later tonight, Angels get the Rangers, the Athletics in San Diego, Diamondbacks host the Rockies, and the White Sox head into the Bay to take on the Giants. The Memorial Cup kicking off shortly. Post-Corona Rockets taking on the OHL champion Kitchener Rangers in the CFL preseason. Ottawa right now leading Montreal 14-3 in the second quarter. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, if you're streaming at Fox Sports Radio, if you're listening on the AM dial, it's Blue Jays and Pirates.